What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. Ooh, baby. Looks like we already have a few people up in here. Say hello to your boy. My poor Seahawks got whooped by the Panthers today, so I'm all butthurt about that. So if I seem a little down, you know why. Seahawks can't even win at home anymore. It looks like I've seen so far Anthony C. Good to see you in here, brother. Anthony C's been missing for a while, so he's got some explaining to do. Also, Eric. What's up, Eric? How are you, man? Keith James. What up, everyone? How are you, Keith? I was going to ask you, Anthony, do you want to come on and chat about how your Sublocade experience has been? You're more than welcome to do so, my friend. I'd love to have you on the channel if you want to chat for a little bit, and you can let us know what happened. Peanut Butter J, what up? Says, what's up, my guy? Proud of your journey. Your story gives me inspiration. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you following along. Anthony says, I can in a few, man. All right. Yeah, just let me know when you want to, and I'll drop the link, and you can hop on here. Amy, the first lady of the night, says, hey, everyone from Northern Kentucky. Woo! Out there, Kentucky. Good to see you, Amy. Thanks for hopping on and hanging out, everybody. Don't forget, hit the like button on the way in, guys. Last week we had like 10 likes on the live stream, and then it looks like everybody hit the unlike button when we got off. I was like, what? I'm going to kick these guys' butt. So, guys, if you hit the like button, you got to leave the like there. So hit that like button for your boy. It looks like we only have, how many likes we got here, guys? We need to get that bad boy up to like 5 real quick. So don't forget to hit that button on your way in here. And I'm lagging myself here. We've got, oh, you guys are kicking ass tonight. 8 likes. I could live with that for now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But if you want to make that 10, that would help. Let's see here. Yeah, drop me some comments as you guys are hopping in. It looks like this Sunday night thing is starting to grow. This is the first time I've seen 11 people on, and this is only the first 2 minutes, so this is awesome. This is surprising. This is great. Say hello to your boy when you come in here, guys. I know this might be late for some of you guys on the East Coast. Shout out to Deb. She left a comment earlier in the day. Her comment's now gone, but it said something like just dropping by to give a like and saying hello. And Deb said she loves everybody. So shout out to you, Deb, if you're watching this on the replay. She's over there. She's up in Maine, so she's furthest from me. So it's probably, I think it's like 9 o'clock over there, I believe, right now. So I know she kind of goes to bed early. Keith says, I'm good, man. Staying with the plan. I had a question for you after my past doctor visit. Yeah, throw me the questions. Whatever you guys want to do, I'll chat with you. Just any questions or comments you guys have, chuck them in there, and I should be able to respond to every comment on this video. So chill nights like these, I am kind of watching the football game as we're hanging out, but it looks like you guys might keep me busy tonight, so I might not see much of this game. Let's see here. What happened in the doctor visit, Keith? Oh, shit. Florida man Dan, what up? He said, what's good? Mary Murphy says, hey, Kevin, I'm new to your channel. I just started Suboxone on the 4th day. It's tough. Your channel has helped. Well, welcome to the channel. Good to see you. What's so tough about it? What dose or what street drugs did you come off of? And what dose of Suboxone are you on, Mary? Keep in mind, guys, that if you're transitioning from street drugs to Suboxone or from Suboxone to Sublocade, there's a little bit of a process to it, right? Sometimes it can take a week or 2 to get used to the medication and how you feel on a new medication. So just remember that not everybody, as they're transitioning to Suboxone or to Sublocade, sometimes there will be a little bit of complications, but stay with it. You'll iron it out, okay? If you could, though, Mary, let me know what dose you're on, and what drug and how many, like if you came from opiates, like how many milligrams of opiates were you on per day before you got on Suboxone? But I'm glad my channel has helped. Thank you. That's what we try to do around here. Help those that are struggling. Peanut Butter J says, I'm on my own Suboxone journey. I tried to quit recently cold turkey. Whew, that's risky. That's scary. But ended up back on subs for the better. Good, I agree. It's real hard, guys. If anyone's trying to cold turkey Suboxone, you'd be lucky to, you'd be almost like hitting a little mini jackpot, guys. Not a lot of people can do that. I've talked to a lot of people on this channel, and if I had to put a number on it, I would say maybe 5% could do a cold turkey Suboxone jump, if that, guys. Like, there's not many people that could handle that, and that's pretty hard to do, especially if you're coming from a higher dose. You really got to take your time and taper off this medication, guys. Go Chargers, Jessica Jane. Good to see you, Jessica Jane. Chargers are winning 3-0 right now. Looks like they're about ready to score again. Oh, yeah, they just scored again. Damn, Miami's going to lose 2 in a row here. Sweet Caroline gives me a thumbs up. Good to see you, Sweet Caroline. Florida Man, whatever you just put, YouTube blocked it, I think, because you put a curse word in there. I'm not sure. Let me see. Try not to cuss in the chat, guys, if you can, because YouTube will block it. So I have to go in and bypass YouTube if you guys cuss. So Florida Man Dan, I'll approve that message you just put. Let's see who else is in here. Florida Man says 200 days clean today from fentanyl, went down to 2 milligrams of subs also. Yeah, I've been watching your channel, buddy. You're doing awesome. Congratulations, man. Like, any days away from fentanyl is amazing. I think if any of you guys are watching this and you're stuck on fentanyl or buying those pressed pills off the streets, please, guys, get on Suboxone or Sublocade, because this shit will save your life. You don't want to be messing around with these fake-ass drugs these days, guys. Oh, Ethan's in here. What's up, Ethan? Good to see you, man. Look at you coming through. I think you've been here for every one of these Sunday night live streams. All right, looks like we're got, oh my goodness, 16 people in here. That's definitely a record for the Sunday night stuff, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way in. I want to let you guys know I'm not a doctor. Nothing on my channel is medical advice. If you're struggling with addiction, please be sure and seek out your own addiction doctor, okay, guys? This channel is for me to share my experience with you, and also for entertainment purposes only, baby. All right, now that we got that out of the way, I wanted to send a shout out to the currently only sponsor of the Sunday night live stream. Last Sunday, Robert Wharton sent a $5 Cash App for protein. Shout out to you, Robert Wharton, for sending the $5 Cash App last week. He is currently the only sponsor of the Sunday night live stream, guys. So shout out to you, Robert. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you're in here tonight. If you are, please say hello. I was looking for you last week in the live stream, and I didn't see it, even though you sent the $5 Cash App. I was trying to say hello to you, but I didn't see it on there. All right, you guys are getting some comments in here. Let me keep this baby going. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys are cruising. All right. So Florida Man says, I jumped off 8 milligrams back during the lockdown. Worst-ish ever. I would rather withdraw off H or Fent. Yeah, man. Some people say that cold turkey Suboxone is pretty rough. I've been thinking about tapering down, but I'm nervous about relapse. Okay, Amy. And I'm going back to pain pills due to my chronic pain, so I'm torn between tapering down or staying on. What dose are you on, Amy? The number one goal of this channel, you guys, is to stop you guys from relapsing. So if you're worried that you're going to taper and you're going to relapse, then it's probably not a good time to taper. It's probably a good time to stabilize and find a dose that works for you, that you can manage your side effects. it's to be noted that women will likely have different side effects than men. Obviously, everybody usually suffers from constipation. That's like the main, like universal one. So you're on 16 milligrams. And how long have you been on 16 milligrams, Amy? Are you doing good on that dose? Peanut Butter and Jay says, I'm on my second year on subs off of a serious fentanyl addiction after losing my mother. Sorry about your mother, my friend. That has got to be, I couldn't even imagine. I lost my father. I could not imagine losing my mother. Fortunately, my grandmother saw me get sober through subs. That's awesome. It's a life changer. Yes, it is. I was on about a half of a gram to 16 milligrams of Suboxone. Wow. Props to you. That's badass. Congratulations. That's I love hearing that. Please stay off of those street drugs, guys. Yo, 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 Sweet Caroline says, what's up? All right. Keith says, will my doctor have an ISS prescribing me 100 milligrams for shot number 1. I'm on low dose, under 4 milligrams. She hasn't started anyone under 100 milligrams. My doctor is prescribing me. Okay, that sounds good to me, man. So you're going to go from under 4 milligrams of Suboxone to the 100 milligram Sublocade shot? I think that's perfect. I think that's like right where you should be going to. Breaking the habit. Oh, shit. Kev, good to see you, brother. 2 years clean next week. Man, time flying. Congratulations, breaking the habit. Good to see you in here, buddy. I think I saw a comment from you like a month or so ago, and you weren't in here very long. But hey, thanks for making a comment and keeping us updated. Breaking the Habit has a channel, guys. Go check out his channel. Breaking the Habit right there is. I think all you gotta do is click on his name, and it should take you to his channel. I put him as one of my top favorite 10 Suboxone channels. I made a video putting my favorite 10 Suboxone channels, and he was one of them. Sweet Caroline says, yes, it will. Oh, Nate S. Shout out to you for the awesome super chat, Nate S. on Wednesday. I appreciate that. Says, day 35, no subs. Let's go, baby. Day 35, killing it. That's badass, Nate. Proud of you, my friend. Good job. Glad to see you in here on a Sunday stream, too. Oh, damn. Marky Rizzo's in the house for a Sunday night stream. Damn. Marky ain't missing no beats lately. Good to see you, Marky. I said I jumped off 8 milligrams of subs cold, and it was the worst experience ever. I would have rather withdrawn off heroin and fent. Oh, no, okay. Oh, sorry. You just corrected the message without the S word. Okay, I got you. Thanks for doing that, brother. I did approve that message, though. Hopefully YouTube doesn't get mad at me. 16 people in here. Holy moly. Damn, maybe we just gonna stop doing the Wednesday stream, start doing Sunday nights. I'm just kidding, guys. I know a lot of you guys love the Wednesday stream, so we'll keep going with that. All right, Keith says she mentioned that she hasn't started anyone on 100, but thinks it's a good idea for me. I did get a call from I support, and I got approved. So I'll be starting my first shot in 2 weeks. Dude, that's going to be an awesome dose, Keith. Let me know how that goes. If I was you, I would be feeling 100% A-okay with the transition dose. That sounds like that's going to be like perfect. I would say if I could go back and do my Sublocade journey all over again, guys, I would get rid of my Suboxone from day one. I wouldn't keep the stockpile on hand. That's just me and how I look at it. If you're getting the dose even close to where it should be, then you should be okay, guys. Should not have any type of withdrawal. You're going to have the emotional withdrawal, right? Because you're so used to controlling how you feel with your Suboxone dose. And of course that goes away once you get on your Sublocade shot. So all you guys that are switching to Sublocade from Suboxone, you just have to be ready to not feel your Suboxone kick in anymore. You're not controlling how you feel anymore. And that's how you want life to be. You want to go You want to go through life on life's terms, right, guys? You don't want to try to control how you feel with putting however many milligrams of Suboxone under your tongue each day. So just be ready for that, guys. Jessica Jane says, breaking the habit. Hi. Good to see you. Love your vids. Jimmy Hatch, I'm doing good, man. How are you? My doc was allotted IV anywhere from 32 milligrams a day to 64 milligrams of DS. I do have a long history of oxy as well. I'm on 60 milligrams of subs. It's the cravings I still have. Probably need to up my dosage. Yes, if you guys are still having cravings, you might need to up your Suboxone dosage. It's important for you to know, though, that even if you're on just 1 milligram of Suboxone, you could still. I was on 1 milligram of Suboxone, guys, and I took 150 milligrams of oxy, and I didn't feel shit. So, as long as you have Suboxone in your system, that's basically how I look at it. Is like that's your insurance policy, right? Because you're not going to get any benefits from relapsing if you have Suboxone in your system. So, as long as you don't go without your Suboxone, you should be covered. And just know in your head that you could take as much shit as you want. You're not going to feel it, especially at 16 milligrams. But yeah, you might want to maybe, if you're not feeling good on 16, maybe he can up you a little bit more. Some people do need higher doses, guys. Amy's on 16 milligrams for 7 years. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing good. I just feel like I don't want to be on them forever, Yeah. I mean, if you've been clean for 7 years, Amy, that's about as much time as I have clean. So I'm definitely not worried about any type of relapse after that many years. It's the last thing I want to do is go back down that road. So if you're ready to taper and you've been clean for at least a year plus, then you might be ready to talk to your doctor about tapering, guys. Try not to get too far behind in the comments. It means a lot hearing that you. Let's see. It means a lot hearing that you, man. Sorry to hear about your father passing. That's the most difficult pain to try and battle on top of an opiate addiction. Actually, thinking back on it, like that's right when my opiate addiction started. It was right when my dad died. I got in a motorcycle accident and then my dad died. I'm comfortable with the subs, life-changing. Yeah, guys. I mean, there's a lot of people that can live many years and they're happy on Suboxone, right? It's really up to you, the person that looks in the mirror every day, to know when it's your time to get off of Suboxone. Because there will be many people on this channel that will tell you that they've gotten off Suboxone and life is a lot better. But there are plenty of people that can stay on Suboxone, and it's up to you guys. If you guys feel good and your soul is at peace, that's the main thing, right, guys? If you're happy with how your life is going and you're safe on Suboxone, if the side effects aren't too bad, then don't even worry about getting off, right? You'll know when it's your time to get off, guys. There will be that little inkling in your soul telling you, hey, I probably don't want to stay on this forever. And when you have that and you think about getting off all the time, that's probably when it's your time to start weaning off. In my opinion, guys, remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm just explaining how I felt all the years that I was on Suboxone. Okay, I'm getting caught up in the comments, guys, so keep the comments rolling here, baby. All right, Keith says, has anyone else did 100 milligram for shot 1? Yes. Keith, it doesn't sound like you've seen my, okay. So go back about, if you do a search on my channel for a video I made about 6 weeks ago, it's called The Official, and it's all capitalized, okay? The Official Share Your Sublocade, let's see, The Official Share Your Sublocade Experience video, and go through that video and read everybody. I had everybody who has experience with Sublocade post the dose that they went from Suboxone to the Sublocade, and I know that there has been at least 2 or 3 people just on my channel alone that has made that transition right at about the dose that you're doing. Okay, so go through and watch that video. You can also go on Reddit and read. There's a lot of people that are going to the lower dose stuff now, okay? So When I went on Reddit and read a lot of people's experience, that's what gave me the motivation to bring it up with my doctor and see maybe my doctor would be okay with starting it on a lower dose of Sublocade. And I'm damn glad that I did that. So it worked. It worked out, and I'm doing great, guys. The people that are going to start the 300 milligram shot are those that are like 8 milligrams and higher, guys. That's kind of, if you're 8 milligrams and higher, just go for the 300 milligram shot. Don't tread on me, says, sorry, I'm late. Totally forgot. Oh, you're okay. Thanks for showing up. I like your picture. Oh. Jimmy says, doing okay at 2 milligrams, taking my taper slow. Yeah, I always say, guys, like I always felt really good around 1 to 2 milligrams of Suboxone. That's where I felt like the most normal. I had low to no side effects at all. Sexually, everything was fine. I could use the bathroom every day. What else? I didn't feel like a zombie, right? I felt pretty normal. I could still cry. I could still get emotional on 1 to 2 milligrams. Like for me personally, 1 to 2 milligrams was kind of my sweet spot. If I start going higher than that, my testosterone levels start getting compressed. I start getting more constipated. I start having kind of like weird sexual side effects. I start feeling a little distant from people, I guess. Keith says, not trying to think too far ahead, but I'm wondering how I should play it after shot 1. I'm doing Suboxone 4 milligrams 1 month and 100 milligrams, hopefully one and done. But I have option for another shot. That's the perfect way to do it, man. You'll feel that 100 milligram shot. You'll physically feel it in your stomach for probably about 3 months. So just know that just because they're prescribing you guys to take the shot every 4 weeks, trust me, that doesn't mean that the shot, that does not, oh crap. I just had somebody request a clarity call. Hold on, guys. I need help getting on. Hold on, guys. I got to check this request really quick. I'm trying not to lose this real quick here. Monday. Yes, let's do Monday. Sorry, guys. They're trying to request a call with me on Clarity as we're on the stream here. All right. So, okay. So, yeah, Keith. Yeah, that's a great idea. So, push yourself as far as you can. The most important thing you need to do as soon as you get your first 100 milligram shot is to eliminate the oral addiction to Suboxone, okay, guys? And I want every one of you that are considering Sublocade to think about this. And it should be the first thing on your mind is when you get your shot, is to stop that oral addiction to Suboxone, because a lot of doctors will give you supplemental Suboxone, okay? And some people are able to break the habit right from day one. Some people struggle, right? And Anthony C. had struggled his first month, and hopefully he can get on here and share his experience. Anthony C. said he started at 100 milligrams. If he could go back and do it again, he would have started at the 300 milligram loading dose. Anthony, remind us what dose of Suboxone you were on. I don't know if Keith James' doctor will go for like 4 milligrams to the 300. That's a pretty big discrepancy as far as like what your blood levels are going to be. They're going to be way higher, but people have done it. My really good friend went from 2 milligrams of Suboxone to the 300 milligram shot, and he said he was out of it for like 2 weeks. But he's glad that he did that because that instantly stopped him from wanting to take any oral Suboxone. But everything that I've seen, Keith, you should be good with what you have planned. Let's see here. 12 days free after a rapid taper. Don't tread on me. That's crazy, man. How fast of a taper did you do? And what dose did you taper down to? Absolutely agree, Kev. It's a crutch that can help you obtain true sobriety, and I'm fortunate that we have this tool. Yeah, I was on Nicole's channel last Wednesday, and she said that they're trying to put together basically what Suboxone is, but for meth. They're going to use like that stimulant medication that they prescribe kids with ADHD. What's it called, guys? You know what I'm talking about. And I thought that was an awesome idea. What's it called? Somebody put it in the comments. It's like the one version of it is called Vyvanse, and what's the other one called, you guys? I'll watch for somebody to post it in the comments. But they're looking. No, not Ritalin. I think, is it Ritalin? No, it's called something else. Adderall, yes. Is that the same thing as yeah, Adderall? They're looking at using Adderall, guys, for people who want to come off of meth, because they don't currently have something like that set up for meth. And I think that that's a really good idea, like, because I've used Adderall before, and I know I've never used meth, of course, but everybody's saying Adderall, Adderall, Adderall. I think that could really help a lot of people going from meth to Adderall, guys. I think that's going to help a lot of people. So just, if anybody's seeing this, 17 people in here, you guys. Holy crap. That is awesome. We're only on the 4th week of this Sunday night live stream. I was thinking about giving this thing up too. Might have to keep this baby going. I think the record on the Wednesday stream was like 31 or 32. Let's see. Absolutely agree. Some people in addiction don't have subs as a tool. Example, meth user. Yeah, meth users don't have subs. But they're going to have Adderall soon. 100 should be plenty for the lower doses. I struggled with it weeks 2 to 4 of the first month. That was tough. That was me, though. Don't let it change up what you and your doctor have worked out. Yeah, I agree, Anthony. Saw the videos. I was just asking because... Oh, you did see it. Okay, because my doctor said she didn't know if the Sublocade people were going to... Okay, so that's where you're going to have to tell your doctor that you're okay with her going off-label, Keith. Literally, you guys, my doctor has a damn plant in his office, and he'll take the 300 mil. They usually have to order. So Keith, your doctor will probably have to order the 300 milligram shot, and then she'll just squirt X amount out of it out. She'll squirt 2/3 of it out, right? Because some insurances might not approve starting off with the 100 milligram shot, right, guys? But some might. So if for whatever reason they only approve you for the 300 shot, as far as insurance reasons goes, just tell your doctor she can squirt it out before putting it in you. It's that simple, you guys. It's definitely not rocket science. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Keep the comments going. Oh, damn. Chargers 10. Dolphins are at 7, guys. Whew. All right. All right. What we got here, boys, ladies and gentlemen? Could somebody tell me how many likes we have on this video? Don't forget to hit that like button, baby. All right. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, Anthony, I've seen a lot of people say that they're doing exactly what you did. In fact, I did that a little bit too. For whatever reason, some people will start to... Oh, shit, hold on. We just had a super sticker. Who's that? Nate S., shout out to you, brother. Bam, $10 super chat, baby. That's currently the largest sponsorship of the Sunday night live stream, baby. Nate S. coming through with a $10 super sticker. Looks like a pear floating through the sky. Shout out to you, my friend. I really appreciate the support, brother. You are the man. Nate just did a great sponsorship of the Wednesday show as well, guys. He sent a $20 super sticker. So super shout out to Nate S. coming through with a $10 sponsorship, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that, man. That is freaking awesome of you to do that. All right. Okay, so Anthony C. says, I did raise my dose in the month leading up to my injection after ordering the 100 milligrams at around 3 to 4 milligrams. But Anthony started going up to 5 or 6 milligrams while working through the initial process of getting started. So Anthony C. kind of had a plan that he came up with his doctor, and then he kind of overshot his Suboxone dose. Probably. Why did you do that, Anthony? I'm always curious why people do that. I don't know. I was thinking of why I did that too, because I kind of started going up a little bit right before I got my shot. I don't know if it's like I was trying to have my last little fun, I guess you could call it. Marky says, Nate S. is the man. Yes, he is. Okay, Ethan says we got 18 likes. That's really good, guys, for a Sunday night stream. I'm really surprised by that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. You guys are making me happy here, especially after last week. It's like, seriously, it was like we got done with the stream and there was 10 likes, or there was 10 likes, and then I watched it like the next day and it was down to like 3 likes. I'm like, those little punks. Those little punk rocks. They gave it and then they took it. At least I think that's what happened. I'm gonna have to check again. I'm gonna see if that happens again this time. Hopefully you guys don't do that. Okay, but yeah, okay. Anthony C says I'll explain when I go on with you. Do you want to come on now, Anthony? Are you ready? I'm really excited to pick your brain on this stuff, man. Anthony C, are you off the bupe now or still getting the shot? He just got his second shot, I believe, on the 28th, wasn't it, Anthony? I'm pretty sure. I don't know why I remembered your date. I have the weirdest memory, you guys. I have a really crappy memory with most things, but then I'll remember like the weirdest things. Like I'll remember, okay, you want to do it? All right. Let me I'm going to throw the link in here for you to just click on. And I need to get my Bluetooth set up because this speaker is blown. Hold on a sec, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Amy, you might have to exit out of the video and then click on it again to see the likes. Let's see here. Guests. Copy. Copy. Sorry, guys, I'm a little rusty with dropping down the links here. Okay, here we go. Paste. I'm just doing this on a phone too. Okay. I'll watch for you to drop in the guest section there, Anthony. Let me get my headphones set up. Baby. I'm going to see if I missed any other comments real quick. Try to get caught before I bring Anthony on. Oh, Anthony says he's on his second shot. He doesn't think he's going back for a third. That's awesome, man. So I've begun spacing my doses out, you guys. So for my 4th shot, I'm going back at the 6th week. Mikey, what's up? Says, what's going on with your Seahawks, Dad? Dude, I don't know, but that was a pathetic attempt today. Today was horrible. Give me just about 1 more minute, Anthony. I'll bring you on here. I watched them both. Good stuff, bro. Helping a lot. That's awesome, Jimmy. I'm glad you're getting some value out of that, brother. Keith says, got it. That's what I was wondering. Thank you. Yeah, Keith, let me know how that goes. I think you're going to be good to go, buddy. I was on for 7 years, tried several times, finally stuck it to because 7 to 10 days until I was at 0.125. Wow. Took 2.5 months total. That's it. Yeah, that would be uncomfortable, my friend. Started at 8 milligrams. Dude, props to you. That is amazing. I literally hardly don't ever hear nothing go down like that, guys. So props to you. Okay. I think I got caught up mostly, guys. Here. Mikey, what up? All right, Marky. I think Anthony and Marky, or sorry. So Anthony's coming on with me. So I won't be able to keep up on the comments as good. If you guys see any troll action, you guys know what to do, fellas. You got my back. I got your back. Who got my back? All right. Let me see if this shit's on. Can you guys still hear me okay? Add Anthony. Let's see if I got that. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, awesome, buddy.
I couldn't while you were still in the chat. I can now.
Okay, can you turn your phone sideways? Widescreen, baby. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. It's good to finally see you on here.
No, right?
Wow, dude. So where have you been?
Hang on. Let me see if I can turn this up.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah, man, I just had to take a break for a little while, like, kind of like I don't know, like just a mental health reset is what I took. I run a cotton candy business on the side, and I work third shift as a behavioral health tech at a recovery center, for like, it's substance use, but we've leaned more towards like severe mental health. So it's pretty draining. But yeah, I just kind of took a break from everything, like, because I mean, I'm sure you can relate. Like, I got into, like I never got on Reddit, but like I'm in Sublocade groups on Facebook, and you get into these not really disagreements, but this back and forth with people on stuff, and it kind of, everybody knows this, and this person will say that, and it kind of gets irritating. And I've never had that with you. Like, you've always been spot on. But yeah, it was kind of affecting my mental health. So I just pulled back from everything, man. And then when I came back, I just caught up, running the business and everything. And then with that job, it just got mentally taxing. And then I was having to find my place with the injections too. Like I struggled that first month pretty bad. Yeah. And then I got that 300 on the 28th, and I've been smooth sailing since.
Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. So before you got on Suboxone, what were you taking as far as like street drugs? And is that what you were addicted to, as oxys, or?
Well, I started out on meth, but like at the age of 19, I'm 36. Okay. At the age of 19, I started like Lortabs, the usual. And then 2011, I became an IV user. And I started IVing like Roxy's, just whatever. I mean, Dilaudid, anything that I could put in there. And I never got to heroin though. I never used heroin. I experimented with fentanyl one time with a patch, and it scared me. So I never messed with that again. But just the pills, man. It was, and it's expensive and all that. And I did back in, I think, 2013, I went to a methadone clinic for 4 years, and that was awful. So I cold turkeyed like 80 milligrams of methadone and got away from it, went back to the streets for a while. And then in 2018, I got back into medicated assisted treatment with Suboxone. Instantly went to 16 milligrams. The doctor threw me on 16 instantly. Mm-hmm. I was on for a year, you know, and you know, you get those feelings like, man, I hate this. I don't want to be on this. I don't feel good. I don't feel anything. And I cold turkeyed 16 milligrams in 2018, or at the I went on in 17. So in January of 18, I cold turkeyed that, and never could gain like long-term sobriety after that. You know, I would get 50 days relapse, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm on probation. I committed a crime in 2007, so I've been on I had a 20-year probation sentence, but I'm about
Oh
to
my
get that
God.
terminated early. I went through, let's see, in 2019, I had a pretty heavy relapse, and um, I got put into the drug court program where I live, and that was life changing for me. Like, it was a 2-year program. I mean, it just changed my life, changed my way of thinking, got me like solid and you know, recovery minded. And
Yeah.
um, when I got out of drug court, and that was last year in October, I started taking Kratom, and like, because I started getting cravings right when I got done with drug court, and I was like, I can't go back to the streets, you know. And I started taking Kratom shots, and like, I've experimented with Kratom. I took Kratom for 2 years. You know, I know how that is. I know how that goes. So I was I got to where I was like at 2 Kratom shots a day, and I was like, this is not working. I'm not doing this. And uh, got back on Suboxone, but this is where the dose thing comes in. Like, I started, I started Suboxone on the streets. Like, it's strange. I mean, I hate to admit it, but I I was ordering it offline from a guy like on this app. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a psychedelic, you know, festival app, but they sell drugs on there. So he sold me a crap ton of Suboxone, and that's how I got inducted on Suboxone. I thought, well, I don't know what I thought at the time. I was like, I'm just gonna, you know, stretch this Suboxone out and I'll be fine, knowing how dependent I was gonna be on it.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason this time, this is where the dosing stuff comes in. Like, I couldn't handle, I don't know if it's because I didn't induct right or whatever, but like, I couldn't handle 2 milligrams of Suboxone. Like,
Oh wow.
I, and I was taking more than that, you know, like I was taking like 8 a day, but I was deathly sick. Like, I was throwing up as soon as my feet hit the floor, staying dizzy all day. And like, I didn't know what was going on, you know, like I was sick. I couldn't work, couldn't hold a job. I mean, it messed my life up all year this year. And that's like when I started looking for a way out, and I knew what tapering would be like. So I found Sublocade like back in, I don't know, August.
Mm-hmm.
And um, like, I had brought my dose back down to below 2 milligrams because it was making me so sick. Well, when I started the Sublocade process, I read in a comment somewhere, somebody was like, just try just letting the medicine dissolve and not swallowing it, just spit it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and like after a week, everything was fine. Like, I wasn't sick anymore. I felt okay. I still wanted off of it, but um, all of that negative stuff went away, and that's when my dose increased back up. I had
Mm-hmm.
already had the shot ordered, but um, yeah, I went probably closer to 6 milligrams then, and I'd already had the 100 milligram shot ordered.
So, okay, so when you spoke with your doctor, is that when you were still on 2 milligrams and he was going to give you go from 2 milligrams to the 100 milligram shot, or where were you at when you made your doctor's appointment?
By the time when I had found Sublocade, I was at 2, you know, because I was so
Okay.
sick. But by the time I got the ball rolling on the process and everything, I was increasing. I was around 4, and that's why I was like, I'll be okay with the 100, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, man. When you say, like, I still don't know. Like, I still don't really know, because I work night shift, you know, and RLS comes at night, and like my legs, you know, my legs would be killing me, and my nose would just be pouring like a faucet, you know, and it wasn't anything like that I couldn't handle. It was just
Yeah.
aggravating. And, but looking back, you know, I just wonder, like, if I hadn't had the Suboxone on hand, would I,
Yeah.
you know, I would have been okay. You know, I think, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely a mental thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I think you would have been. It's. I mean, you think we've been addicted to taking something manually for however many years. For me, it's been 20 years, right? 15 years with Oxy, and then 5 years of Suboxone, and it's like that's half of my life. I've been used to doing this every fucking day when I wake up. Man, that it's not easy to just turn that switch off just because somebody puts a shot in your stomach, right? Like, there's still a lot of like triggers. A lot of people. I would talk to a guy on my Clarity .fm account, and he told me that when he went to pick up his kids, that was a trigger for him. That's when he used to always take his stuff, right? So it's like we have these things built into our brains so freaking deep that to just because we go get this shot at the doctor, like there's still some major psychological addictions that we have to break. And then for a lot of people, it's not going to be just that easy just to turn that right off. And for me, as I told you guys earlier, like I had a stockpile of Suboxone and I made it, I want to say like a week or two before I took any, but man, once I took that first one, it's not because I needed it. It's because I had it, and I had the little devil on my shoulders saying, "Gosh, what would it feel like to try your Suboxone while you're on the shot, right?" And then it's like I tried it, and then instantly I was like depressed about it. I was like, "That was stupid of me to do that," and now I feel like I'm getting behind with my recovery, right? And then I'd go a few days, and I did it again, and then I did that. I did it 3 times total the first month, and I just like I knew I was like, I have got to get rid of this or I'm going to keep taking this Suboxone. I know I'm going to keep taking. I'll find an excuse. My brain will find an excuse as to why I need to keep dosing, even though I know I don't. And so that's why I say if I could go back again, like I would have just torched that shit from day one. I
For
mean,
sure.
is
For
that kind
sure.
of what you think you would do that, like knowing what you know now and like what you've been through?
Well, like, you know, I'm like you, man. Excuse me.
Oh, you're good.
I did the deep, like, you know, deep research. I've watched and read clinical studies and stuff. Like, I know what this medicine can do. I know how powerful it is, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
I know what levels it provides. And, um, it's more than enough, you know. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's plenty. Even the 100 milligram, I mean, it's plenty. Like, I think I see a lot of people in my Sublocade group on Facebook, and it's more people at higher oral doses. They struggle a lot. Like, some of them
Yeah.
supplement 2, 3, 4 months in, and I'm like,
Whew.
just get rid of them, you know, just get rid of them.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I fully believe if they're not there, like, you'll be fine, you know.
Yeah.
Because when I got
So
that 300, man, I mean, that's why I say I wish I would have got the 300 in the beginning, because I just would have known for sure, like, there's no need at all for me to supplement. But
yeah.
um, when I got that 300, man, I got rid of them, and I was like, I'm good. I'm cruising.
Dude, that's so awesome. I knew that was going to happen. Just like as I spoke to you a little bit, and you leave some long ass emails just FYI.
Yeah.
Man, this dude could type some emails, you guys. Like he put me like it was like an hour to read one day. I was like, damn, Anthony going off on the
I'm
emails
just,
about it's.
I'm just passionate about it, man.
Oh,
I'm like you.
yeah, you like to get every detail about it. You're a lot like me in that sense. That's why freaking I could do a freaking 4 hour live stream talking about this shit. Like
Yeah. I
there's a
just want
lot.
people to know about it, man, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I always say that Suboxone is a complicated medication. It's not just as simple as the doctor prescribing you and then you just go upon your merry way and everything else is just like there's just a lot that goes into like, the side effects and all like how are you feeling and like all the different things that could happen and might happen. It's just like there's kind of a lot to this medication. Okay, so just going back, so if going over your first month, did you supplement every day then, or did you say only towards like the last half of the month?
I made it to day 8, and
Okay.
I didn't take anything. And then I don't know. I guess I was still kind of like amped up off getting the injection. I'm like, oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
good. I've got Sublocade now, and then that bottle was still sitting there, and I kept it on the
Mm-hmm.
nightstand or on the kitchen counter when I would leave for work, and like I wouldn't go to work. That was another thing. Like I would take my bottle to work with me throughout the night, and then that sets me up to take it.
Oh yeah.
I was dosing like I never had Sublocade in me. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I was
then,
taking just as much as I was before I got the shot.
oh wow. So how were you feeling emotionally about that? Were you like self-guilting yourself or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I was aggravated. I felt guilty because, like I had said before, I was like, I'm gonna get the shot and get rid of them, and I'm gonna be fine. And I told so many people that, but
Mm-hmm.
um, once I started supplementing, I was just like, man, I got to get rid of these things. But I had that fear in the back of my mind, like, what if I do metabolize this thing super fast, and on week 4, I'm sick and I need them, like
Yeah.
it's my addict mind lying through me though,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I made a video 4 days after my first shot. I was so worried that the shot was just going away. And I was like, dude, this thing's almost gone already. Like, looking back now, like, I laugh at that video
Man, I got
because,
my first shot like I think it was October 4th, maybe. Wait, or November 1st, maybe. Yeah, November 1st, and I still have some of my 100 left, like
yeah, dude. Yeah, my
I can still
100
feel it.
milligram shots, I've got this top right one, I can still feel it, and that's now 9 weeks. 9 weeks, I still feel that 100 milligram shot. So, yeah, I was super paranoid at first, but now that I know how long, even with my fast metabolism, it still freaking lasts a long ass time. Like
Yeah,
I can imagine, dude, that 300 milligram shot, you're gonna feel that thing for probably 5 months, dude, because
dude,
that's a
this
big
thing is
dose.
huge. Like it's not
Yeah,
going anywhere.
yeah, no, it's not. I almost guarantee you at least 5 months you'll be able to physically feel that shot in your stomach, dude. So as
I'm
long
just
as you can
wondering
feel
if I
that,
can ride it out, man. Like
I bet you can, dude.
I mean,
I
I
really bet
don't
you
think
can.
I'm gonna see how I feel closer to my appointment, but I don't think I'll have to go back for a third.
I would just say is I think did you see the guy earlier had mentioned how it's like an option for him to get another one? So like I think that will ease your mind a little bit, just knowing that you can if you need to, but you really shouldn't need to go back for at least 2 months, dude, at least since your last one. I would say
Well,
probably 3 months.
I go off of what Dr. Starr said too. Like I've seen him say a lot that people on 4 or below that he's seen them get 100, 100 and be done.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of people on Reddit are saying that too. Um, Kevin C, I had him on the channel a while ago. He's huge on the Reddit forums, and he says a lot of people they're finding out that less is more with Sublocade as well. As we some people say that with Suboxone, less is more. That they're finding out that it's probably best if somebody's ready to move on from it to not get 15, 20 shots, right? Because then it's just so built up in your system that I mean, if you think about it right now, you and I have pretty much about the same amount in our system because you've got what 400 milligrams and I've got 450
Yeah, I wanted to
total.
go. Speaking of Kevin, see, I talk to Kevin a lot. Like he's in
Oh,
my
cool.
Sublocade group on Facebook, and uh, I know y'all kind of linked up on Reddit. But I think like I posted your channel, like I posted a couple of your videos in there in the comments, and I think that may have had something to do with how y'all linked up. But his video on your channel was awesome, man. Yeah, I woke up one day after working and he was like, he sent me the live, and I was like, what? You went on? And I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was an awesome video. I loved his attitude of like he was very knowledgeable on it. So he just reminded me of like me with Suboxone, but with him like the Sublocade version of me with Suboxone. It's like
Yeah.
I've been talking about Sublocade or Suboxone every day for 4 or 5 years on this channel, you know, and it's like I could tell that he spent a lot of time researching stuff with Sublocade. So it was really cool to have him on the channel.
Yeah, there's a chart like in the Sublocade. If you Google Sublocade prescribing information, it's a PDF, you know, and it's got
Mhm.
like all of the. I don't know if it's because like my doctor, when I went in, he tried to hand me the brochure, the Sublocade brochure, and I was like, man, come on, we're way past that, you know. And
Come on, Doc, I know Rook.
yeah, I was like, come on, man, I know more than you do probably.
I bet you do.
And but that Sublocade prescribing information, that PDF, if anyone needs to know anything, they can go into it, man, and it's got a graph of like average, peak, and trough levels of Sublocade 100 and 300 versus 8, 16, and 24 milligrams of Suboxone. So, and the levels that each of those provide, and that tells you right there that Sublocade's way more than enough, even at trough levels when it's dying off, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I posted that chart on my the community section like right before I got on it, right before I got on the Sublocade. So I was like that when I seen that shot showing the blood levels, I was like, this is gonna work, man. This is gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, so you've now had it since the 28th of November, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've had the 300 shot in you for what, 2 weeks, a week and a
This
half
thing's
now?
huge too. Look.
Oh shit, that's a loaf. Is that your first shot right there on the other side?
Yeah, right here.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, that one's gonna last you, dude. You're gonna see that shot for like 4 or 5 months, I bet.
It scared the crap out of me because my nurse was out sick, and this nurse came in that I'd never seen, and the doctor brought her in, and he was like looking at my stomach, and he was like, "Go at a 45-degree angle," and she walked back out, and she came back in, and she had a 22 gauge needle for this 300 milligram shot, and
Oh
she was like
shit.
pushing with everything she had, and like I didn't think she was ever going to get it in. She was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I will be when you get this medicine in me." And
What the
it
hell?
was her first time ever giving the injection, and she kind of shot it like long ways in me. I mean, I don't know how it, how it usually looks. I don't guess they can get it round. I guess it just shoots kind of long ways, but that kind of freaked me out. I was expecting it to bust out of my stomach or something, but it's went pretty good.
No.
It looks
I
good.
think I think they got it right. It looks right. Like they go like for me it's like always like in at an angle so it's just barely below your skin. Like they're definitely not supposed to go straight in because then it's going to be
Yeah.
in your muscle. Okay, so how are you feeling since you got that shot? Like what did you feel like a huge rush of buprenorphine the first couple days? Or you
Yeah.
zombied out or wired up or how did you feel?
Yeah. Even when I got the 100, man, when I got the 100 milligram, I was awake for like 36 hours, like I was tired, but I could not sleep. And, when I got the 300, like it levels off after, I don't know, a day. It peaks at 24 hours. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, by day two, I was good. But on this 300, it hit. I took a day off of work. I always do on my shot day, just in
Mm-hmm.
case. But that 300 hit pretty hard, but it wasn't any more hard, like any more heavy than the 100, really.
Did they use any type of numbing stuff for you or ice or anything?
Yeah, like I always use ice. Like
Okay.
I'll put ice on. Like when I get there, I make sure that they have it out of the fridge, and so it can sit for a few minutes because they're not good about that. And I always take an ice pack in a bag with me, and I'll lay it on my stomach even before they do the lidocaine, and they'll do lidocaine, and they'll let it work. They'll leave me for 5 minutes and let it work, and I'll put the ice back on for that. And then when they come back in to do the Sublocade injection, I don't feel anything, man.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, I've never. It's crazy too because every time when I get there to my appointment, it's literally like he pulls the box out of the fridge. 2 minutes later, he's putting it in me. I'm like, damn, doc, can't warm it up
Ah,
for me, huh? I get
Uh,
no lidocaine, no numbing. I get nothing, dude. And
really?
last time I was literally almost laughing about it because it was like my third shot, right? So every time you go, it gets easier and easier, dude. Like I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I was freaking out about this the first time. I was literally laughing about it this
Now
last time.
that medicine, it burned. Um, that 100, it burnt like crazy. I mean,
Really?
like I didn't feel the shot or anything, but that
Hmm.
medicine burnt like crazy. But it wasn't, it doesn't last long. But
Yeah.
with that 100 or that 300, the reason I was freaked out is because, like, when I got back to the car, it was still burning, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, she's done something wrong. But I mean, it's not anything. Like, I feel like that scares people away from the shot a lot. And
Yeah. It does.
I mean, I saw your video. You were like sweating, your first shot,
Yep.
but I was the same way. I was like trembling on the table, but um, I mean, I felt like I heard vibrations from me shaking. I was like, it was bad, but I was
Yeah.
overreacting, man. I mean, it's a couple minutes and you're out the door and you can go on about your life.
Yeah. Show me your shots again. I want to see your stomach. Okay, so he went below your belly button on the first two, right? Okay. See,
Yeah, she
yeah,
asked me.
you're really lean in the stomach area. So I noticed because on my how my ab section is on the lower part below my belly button. I have a little bit more fat down there, and I noticed that when it's in the more fatty areas, it's less painful. And where you're so lean on your stomach, I feel like the leaner you are, the more you're gonna feel the burn. Is kind of what I'm trying to say.
I have more fat up here on this upper area, and that's where I'll be going if I get another one.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about going up on that higher area. I feel like it'll be more sensitive, but that ice, man, that ice really, really makes a difference.
Dude, I think if you go back, it should be in like 2, 3 months and just for like 100 milligram shot. That's it. If you go back, and I'm not saying you need to, but I'm just saying if you feel like you need to, just top it off just with like a little bit and then cruise out from there. Something like that, right?
I like
But
the
dude,
idea you had about the booster.
yeah, the booster shots. I made that video
Yeah.
about Sublocade booster shots. I love that. And I brought that up with my doctor and he said there is one guy that does that. And I was
I
just
like
like,
like going in, man. I wanted them to do 150 because I love that idea that you went with. Like
yeah,
that plan, that protocol you had set up was dead on, was perfect.
yeah.
And like I was like, okay, I'll just go to the doctor and he'll, and he was like, yeah, I can just squirt half of it out, I guess. And
Yep.
he left the room and talked to his nurse. And apparently this nurse runs things with Sublocade because she came back in and she was like, no, we're not going to be doing that. It's going to be
Oh, hell
100 or
no.
300. And then she was like, um, I was like, what about supplementing? What if it's not enough? And she said, no, we're not going to do that either. When the doctor had already told me we could, and which I had a stash, but I
Yeah.
asked her, I said, so what do you do on day 8 or 12 and somebody goes into full blown withdrawal? Because I've seen people that have, but they're usually at higher doses. But she was like, I don't know. We can't give you another one. And I was like, well, I know that.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they have many patients. So I'm I've had to insert myself a lot, like with the in support, um, all of that copay assistance and everything. Like I've had to insert myself a lot to get my
Yeah.
shot there. And this last time, it was the day of my appointment, and my shot hadn't even been ordered. I had to have it rushed for
Oh my
the next
God.
day, and I had to go to my appointment a day late, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, see my place, they're on top of it big time. Like it's already ready to go and and my doctor is like if you want to push it out a week, if you want to push it out 2 weeks, just what he lets me take control of the whole fucking thing.
I love
I think
that. I love that.
yeah. I think because he knows how much like I know about all this stuff. I told him I have a
Yeah.
YouTube channel and stuff, and I'm like deep into this stuff all day long.
So now
They
you're when this next one, like how far are you stretching out this one?
So from my fourth shot, I'm stretching it out 6 weeks. My third shot, I stretched it out 5 weeks. And so I'm thinking I'll probably go for my fifth shot at 2 months. So I'm tapering myself by spacing out the doses. Nate had just, it sounds like Nate might not know a lot about this. He says, how do they even think of this shit? It sounds wild. Does it release bupe over time? So Nate, the shot is basically just an injection. You could think of it as a Suboxone shot in your stomach, and that's what those lumps were. He was just showing you, and it slowly releases over time, like you said. Like that one shot on the right side, the bigger shot, that's gonna last him basically like what, 4 or 5 months. That's basically like a 5 month Suboxone supply right there in the stomach. So for any of you Suboxone people that don't know what Sublocade is, that's what it is right there. And as soon as you get that shot in your stomach, you stop taking the oral doses. So you're giving up control, because as you guys know that are on Suboxone, you're in control of how you're feeling by how much Suboxone you put under your tongue every day, right? If you want to, some people get energy from Suboxone, some people get anxiety relief. That's kind of how what I get. I never got the energy. Some people get euphoria from it. Like it's different for everybody. Whatever you guys are getting from your dose, like that goes away because you're not in control of how much you put in your tongue every day. Um, can you back me up on that, Anthony? Do you feel just normal all around the clock now, or do you feel it spiking and kicking in and out all day long?
Um, I don't like. I mean, like everybody's different. So like Suboxone, it made me high. Like I got
Mhm.
euphoria from it. I mean, it's the best high that it could give. Like I
Yeah.
mean, it's not a full blown, but it's that euphoria. So that's what
Hmm.
it did for me, and that's what was hard to let go of was that feeling,
Yeah.
like you said. And Sublocade is Sublocade's way different. Like it's. I mean, it's like you said. You wake up. You don't have to worry about that dose. You just get it. I mean, you have to get woke up from being groggy from sleeping, but you're
Yeah.
fine. You're
Yeah.
just level. It's not the waking up feeling like crap and I feel like Sublocade's allowing my brain to heal, like as if I didn't even have buprenorphine in my system. Like I'm getting emotions back. Uh, I can hear music now. Like I used to not
Hmm.
care. Like I would just turn the radio on and cruise to work. But like I get chills when a certain song comes on or whatever, like my brain's healing.
That's awesome, man. That stuff is happening while you're still on the Sublocade shot. That's awesome. I kind of feel more. I noticed last month when I pushed my shot out to the 5 week mark. I don't know if it was just mostly because of it was my head playing tricks on me, but it was like after the fourth week mark, I started getting emotional. Like I would cry almost every day. So I'm really paying attention this month to see if that happens again. And as of right now, I'm like 4 days past my 30-day shot time, and I'm not getting that emotional stuff happening again. So I don't know if it was just like my mind playing tricks on me. So I'm gonna see how the next 10 days goes until I get my next shot. But dude, I feel totally freaking fine. Totally freaking fine. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
definitely not something.
Mine has been more like not so much anger, but more like irritability, like uh, kind of just being annoyed with everything. Like that's
Mhm.
another thing that people have to keep in mind. Like I've seen some people that get on the injection and I've seen some people say it just makes them feel like, I don't know. I don't know if they said like losing their mind. Like it, it affects them mentally, like, because
Mhm.
that's a lot of medicine and it's powerful. But I think once it levels off, and especially like me and you getting into month 2, 3, 4, I think that's when you really get into the sweet spot when all those build up
Yeah.
and, uh, and you're just cruising then, man. I mean, from the most part, what I've seen, people at higher oral doses are the only ones that struggle a lot. So yeah.
Making the switch.
Um, yeah, like I've seen a lot of people, that are at 24. 24 seems to be a rough number.
Yeah.
They have a hard time transitioning, and I've seen a lot of them just go back to oral dosing.
Okay. tell me what, because I know you're into like the Facebook groups. I'm not on there at all. So from everything that I've seen on my channel, everything I've seen on Reddit, it seems like maybe 8 to 16 milligrams is a sweet spot for going to the 300 milligram shot. Is that kind of what you're seeing too?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I don't know, what would you say? Maybe 2 to 4 or 5 to for like the 100 milligram shot, somewhere around there.
I wouldn't go over 4. Like, I think,
Okay.
I think a lot of people at low doses have a fear of getting that 300, but like after the peak, man, after that 24-hour peak, you pretty much
Yeah.
level off, I think. I mean, I can't
Yep.
say for sure, I don't want to give medical advice, but like, I think it would be okay. I think anybody like 4 and under would be good, like you've always said with 100. It's
Okay.
more than enough, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's everything that we've all researched, and we've seen 100 different people's stories, and they've all shared, kind of what's worked. So
Uh,
there's going to be some people that struggle either way. Like, it's not going to be the same for everybody, obviously, but generally speaking, the numbers that we're talking are going to work smoothly for most people.
the main thing that's really up in the air is like the amount of injections somebody wants to get, and
Yeah.
that's obviously dependent on them whether they want to continue on Sublocade and do maintenance that way. That's fine.
Yep.
I mean, I know a
Yeah.
girl that she's an admin of my Sublocade group. She's like, I think she's well over a year on Sublocade maintenance, and she's doing great. So if and that's maybe she has a fear or whatever of going back out, and that's okay. You know,
Yeah.
Uh, that's a valid fear because a lot of people we're losing a lot of people.
Yep.
So maintenance is okay on Sublocade too. I think it's a better form of maintenance. I mean, so
Well, if you
yeah.
think about it, I always talk about like the addictions, like as far as like the bigger. Let me back up. I always talk about addictions as far as like how much time you have to give your addiction, and if you're going to be on Sublocade maintenance, that's worst case. You have to drive to the doctor's office 12 times in a year, and you're done. Versus 360 whatever days of this shit you got to do and monitor. You're doing this stuff all day long, like that sounds like a way easier plan to go to drive to the doctor's 12 days out of the year and you're done. You don't have to control your dose. You just go with what the shot gives you and you're good to go. So that's how I would look at it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, I'm like you, like I had to dose. I like my life depended on, moved around my doses. Like I'm not going to do something until my dose kicks in. When I
Yep.
wake up, like I had to set my alarm for an hour and 45-minute period before I would even begin my day, because I'm waking up. I have to pop that in my mouth. Then I have to get woke up. Then I have to wait on it to kick in. And until that kicks in, I'm not doing anything. I'm not communicating or anything. So your whole
Mm-hmm.
life is based around
Yeah.
that medicine. And on Sublocade, you can I mean, it's there. You just get up
Yep.
and go. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
there's none of that waking up in the middle of the night because your legs are hurting or you get woke up with withdrawal and you've got the bottle on the nightstand. I mean, you're good. Like,
Yeah.
constipation is another huge thing. Like when you get leveled out on Sublocade, I mean it's normal. It's as close as to normal as it can be on that medication.
So you're not like way backed up now after you got the 300 shot? Dude, that's
No,
awesome.
no, like last month it was rough. It was really rough, but it was because I was supplementing.
Yeah.
I had my body loaded down with Butte, and
Yep.
when I got the 300 and stopped supplementing, um, let's see, what's today? Today's the 11th. Yeah,
Yep.
like the first 4 or 5 days, I was still having issues, but after that, yeah, things started, you know, moving regularly. Things started getting back to normal. So that's a huge blessing because I know everybody struggles with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised you got back to normal that quick with that. That's really impressive. I thought it would have taken maybe a little bit longer for your bowel movements to kind of normalize to that.
When I first got right before I got the 300, things were getting bad, and I took like a whole bottle of Miralax within like a week. You know, I
Oh
was like, man,
damn.
I got to fix this. But it was just because I was supplementing, you know.
Okay.
So yeah,
Um, Real quick, it looks like we have 18 people in here right now, guys. We also have 18 thumbs up. So if you guys haven't yet hit that thumbs up and you enjoy what we're talking about here, guys, go hit that thumbs up button for us. Try to get that over 20 here while we have Anthony on the channel. Let me also ask you, let's see, we had a couple people making comments here. Let's see. Mary says, "Oh my God, Anthony, I relate to everything you're saying. Props to you for cold turkey methadone. Wow." Let's see. Breaking the Habit says, "Keep rocking it, Anthony. Keep telling your story. It changes people's lives." Let's
thank you,
see.
thank you.
And then we have Amy says, "I started on it on the street as well, and it changed my life. So then I started with a doctor. Thanks for sharing, Anthony."
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
one thing I'm trying to do is that where I work, you know, it's partial hospitalization. It's kind of like it's set up in like sober living houses. I manage the
mm-hmm,
house, and we have 4 houses side by side, and it's male and female. Well, they have 30 days there, and then they'll go 30 days to IOP to where they get their phone back. They can have their vehicle. They live in a random house in the city and live more like a normal life. Well,
that's
when they
cool.
come into this partial hospitalization, they're throwing some people that are opiate dependent on Suboxone, and um, some of them, you know, I mean, I feel like that's too short of a period to be throwing somebody on that maybe doesn't want to be on it forever and not knowing that they're
Mm-hmm,
going to have to be on it for a while. So I'm
mm-hmm.
trying to push for them to use the Sublocade shot. You know, that would be great. Like they could give somebody an injection and probably, you know, that would hold them while they're there, and then they could leave the program and just cruise on out. So
Yeah, yeah, that's an interesting. I've always kind of wondered like how people like would do with that type of scenario because for me, I feel like Suboxone was like a needed component to my recovery, right? But then again, I never went into like a recovery treatment center type of thing. So I guess I can't really say as far as like if I was to do that. But I'm just trying to think because for the first while was that while I was on Suboxone, I was flip-flopping, right? Like I would stop taking my Suboxone and then I would go back to painkillers. And while that's so, and this was back in 2017 when all of the drugs that I were getting were legit, right? So it's a whole
yeah,
different ball game now with all the fake fentanyl pills or whatever the hell's going on out there. So yeah, that's a tricky one, man. I think that if somebody's really ready to move on, then that's a great idea for sure. I mean,
you know,
obviously, if they're in a treatment center, then hopefully they're ready to move on. And
because
that's
that Suboxone is problematic, you know, in a treatment setting. I mean, you have, like, we had a client the other day, she got to this other, we only have one guy on MAT right now, and she approached him and wanted him to cheek his Suboxone and give her some of it when he came out, you know, and like we
Mhm.
have people that are HIV positive. What if he was HIV positive and she didn't know? You know, I mean, that's crazy.
Wait, I'm confused. They're injecting it?
No, like no, like she like we they come in the office and we give them their meds and then they sign and they leave. They walk out
Uh-huh.
and go, you know, and go about their day. But she had approached him because she knew he's on MAT, and she would because he's the only one there that is, and she
Uh-huh.
was asking him to cheek some of it, like to hold or just hold it, and when
Oh
he
my
got out
God.
to give her some of it.
Like put it in his mouth and then take it out and give it to her?
Yeah,
Oh my God, dude, that's crazy.
and I
Oh.
like I I was so disappointed. I mean, I know that's how powerful the disease is, you know, like,
Yeah,
but
dude.
I had just had a conversation with her, and she's like, "I'm 50 days clean," and I was like, "Well, you know how." What's the longest time you've ever been clean? And she said, this time right here. And she's a heroin addict, and heroin doesn't exist anymore. It's all fentanyl,
Yeah, it
you
is.
know? So like if she goes back out, she's there's a good chance she's not going to live. And I mean, it's just sad to see these things on a daily basis. To, I mean, I know, we've lived that life, but like, it's just, I mean, we can't save them all.
Yeah, so you probably see a lot of people that pass away from this stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like, we have, um, we had a guy about a month ago. He was in an IOP house, and his his housemates kept smelling plastic burning, is what they said. And we went over there. Well, we ended up going over there, but one of his housemates had called and said that they had found a powdery substance on the back of the toilet, and he had been smoking that stuff, and had fell out. And I asked him, I said, why did you leave that on the back of the toilet? He said, because I overdosed, man. Like, it's that the disease is so powerful. These people are from all over the country in this city doing treatment, and they'll branch out when they get to IOP housing. They'll go to a homeless camp and seek out drugs because they're so desperate to use, like,
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just a testament to how powerful the addict mind is. I mean, I know, I get it,
Yeah,
but
dude.
it's
Yeah, we've
scary
done.
these days. It's dangerous now. Like, like you said, it's not how it used to be. Like, you get with friends and party on the weekend, or
Yep.
and the worst that may happen is you might throw up, or you feel like crap when you wake up, you know,
Yep.
or you eat too many pills and you get sick. But now you could take a quarter of a pill and die. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
it's a completely different ball game.
Yeah,
It's
that's
something that it's
really.
something that I cannot. If I'm going to do everything in my power to not, you know, try to have to battle that again or be faced with that again.
Yeah, I keep saying it on my channel, like it's a really scary time to be an addict, an opiate addict specifically, because of what you just mentioned right there. Real quick, I wanted to say what's up to Kelly. It's like Kelly Hoover's in the chat, says 2 weeks after the first shot, doing great. Um, Good
Cool.
to see you in here, Kelly. We also have Don't Tread on Me. It says there's nothing more intimate than sharing needles. Yoof. Yeah, dude. Like when he was saying, Anthony was saying, I thought you were saying cheat. So I was like, what do you mean cheat, Suboxone? That's why I'd asked you. And you said, no, actually in your cheek. I was
Yeah,
like,
like
oh
cheek it.
my God. That's
Yeah,
crazy, man. That
yeah.
is nuts. I've never heard of anything. I could imagine people doing that. That's freaking really scary, dude. But yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, dude, the fentanyl pills going around these days. Oh my goodness, dude. Like there's so many of them everywhere, everywhere. Like it's just spreading through our country like crazy right now, man. It's really scary.
I'm glad that I'm thankful for you, like people like you and Zach. I follow Zach, and like, because these videos are here forever. They're going to be here forever. The internet's everlasting, and um, like Ryan Donnelly, a lot of people know Ryan Donnelly. Like he meant a lot to me. Like, people. I don't know if you realize it. I hope you feel it, but a lot of, like, people, and I don't want to put pressure on you or anything, but people, they kind of depend on you. They look up to you. That you're you empower them. Like, you're the inspiration. And um, like Zach, I try to tell Zach as much as I can, in his comments and stuff, like, man, you're a beast. You're killing this. Your discipline is just, it's unbelievable, and like, somebody's going to be able to go back to that, and they will,
Hmm.
like I have before. And there wasn't as many, like, somebody will start a taper and you won't see any more videos from them.
Hmm.
So, like, what Zach's doing is great. It's gonna be really helpful for a lot of people, and this will too. Like, especially since you started consistently cranking out videos and these lives and stuff, and like Kevin's story, and having Ken Starr on, and
Hmm.
even Doc Chris Park. He puts out a lot of encouraging stuff. I keep up
Yeah.
with him too. Like, um, people need that, man. They need it these days. And because a lot of people aren't seeking that out. Like they don't get it, or they're not seeking it out in their daily lives. And that's where they go to. They're like, well, I'm going to get on YouTube and go to Kevin's channel and see what's there, see what he's saying, you know? So yeah, it's a good thing y'all are doing.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, like just as you were mentioning those people that I've had on the channel, like they've all been like important to me, you know what I mean? So like for me to be able to bring what people have been able to help me to bring them to our channel here in our little group here that we have, like I don't know, that's a pretty cool thing to think about. And like I don't, you know, like you just said, like I'm important to a lot of people, and it's just like I'm just living my life out here in Utah. I just feel like I have my little bubble here that I'm in, and like to picture like that people actually count on watching these videos, like that's pretty crazy to imagine that actually people
They
need to
do.
keep making videos.
Yeah, they do. And this channel, you know, like Sublocade, it's what, like 5 or 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, you know, I mean, the word's not out there. It's getting out slowly, but the more the word gets out and Sublocade becomes a more common thing, because I live in Georgia, and like I live in the cow fields of Georgia, and I was able to find one provider, you know. It's I've talked to doctors, and they're like, you know, talk to them about Sublocade and its tapering capabilities, and they're like, really? You know, like I'm gonna have to look into that. And it just blows my mind. It's like, man, you've got to know about this. You know, you need to know about this. And yeah, it's just, you know, like once it's still getting out there, but I think, you know, like, I mean, I don't think it'll be 2 years from now. Like, I think it's just kind of happening gradually. But I think, you know, like I've seen your channel grow since I started watching it, you know, a few months back. And I think, you know, by this time next year, there's going to be a jump to where you just jump. It just starts going crazy, and it's going to take off, and you're not going to know what to do. You know, you're going to be like, oh, whoa, okay. But
Yeah,
that's gonna be
trust
a
me, I'm
good
waiting
thing.
for it.
Yeah,
Dude, I look at this shit like, and I'm like responding to comments all day, like doing everything I can, right? And it's just like, I'm like, oh, I got one more subscriber there. Like, I'm
yeah,
happy for every person that subscribes. Like, I'm like, yes, this is slowly growing a little bit more. And I've seen, you know, some slow progression stuff, but God, it takes forever to grow these YouTube channels, man. Holy
yeah.
moly.
Don't get discouraged. Like I said, I run a cotton candy business on the side, and a lot of people look at me like, you're a dude and you have a cotton candy, you know, sweet treats business, but the profit margins are through the roof. And um, my channel, I started in May, or my page on Facebook, and I'm at like 600 and something followers, and like it's dragging, you know. But um, you'll get those periods where you get those jumps and stuff, and but you have, the way you know you're valued is because you have regulars. You know, that's the way you've got to know you're valued, because you have people like Marky, Deb, you know, people that are devoted to you. That's how you know you're putting out good. I mean, you should know that you're putting out good content, and you're a value to people, you know.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Yeah, I definitely do have like there's like 5, 10 people that are always and have been always here, like, you know what I mean? And like I'm seeing more and more of those people start to come and show up every week, you know, and participate in the chats and share their stories. And it's fun to have you guys on too. And like, you know, especially where we've kind of communicated like through the YouTube channel here and there and through email and stuff, and then to have you on the channel. I knew you were
Yeah,
going to be doing a lot better, man, once you got that second shot. I'm
yeah.
glad you stuck with it. I was a little worried because I didn't hear from you for a while. I was like, God, I hope he didn't just go back to Suboxone.
No, I was just working it out, man. Like um, a lot of it was guilt from supplementing, you know, like
Yeah.
I don't know if I kind of felt like I couldn't advocate for Sublocade because I was supplementing, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept going back, and I was hearing your lives week after week. Like, I think I kind of got discouraged because of how well you were doing, you know, like, and I was like, man, I know I can be there, you know, but I wasn't, you know, like my mind was beating on me. And, I kind of just took a reset, you know, like around the time I was getting the 300, and I was like, I knew it was coming up, and I knew after I got it that I was going to be okay. And I was, man, it was, you know, that's what I wish I just would have got it. That's why I say, like, I mean, and a lot of doctors are going to be like, okay, you're going to start at 300. That's the loading dose, whether they make you go up to 8 milligrams or whatever, 6 or 8. And, I mean, if doctors are willing to adjust the dose, like I think 150 or 200 would have been good for me. But I don't know, maybe I still would have supplemented because I had them, you know, get rid of them. Rid of them.
That's a huge thing, man. I felt the biggest weight lifted off my shoulders when I threw those fuckers in the fire. In fact, I actually have kind of a similar type of story. I'll share it with you guys right now. I was going to make a video about this, but so there's been a lot of people talking about Kratom on my channel lately, and lo and behold, I go through my cupboards the other day and I have this huge stash of Kratom, like chilling, dude. Yeah, huge stash. It was a lot, dude. From when I came off of Suboxone like years ago. This is like some old ass Kratom, right? And everybody's like, I had a lot of people talking on the channel about Kratom lately, and then there was like a lot of people were wondering like what happens if you take Kratom while you're on Suboxone. And so of course I had the little devil smacking me in the air with it. I was like, I don't know what it would be like. So I tried it a couple times, dude, and I was literally, it was the same feelings that I had when I took Suboxone when I was on the Sublocade shot. Like, first of all, I didn't freaking feel anything. So if you guys are curious, if you could take, because some people are worried about like the precipitated withdrawal stuff, like fighting each other. If you already are on Suboxone or Sublocade and that's already on receptors, if you take Kratom, just know that you're not going to feel anything from it. In my experience, I didn't feel jack shit. It was just nothing but a waste of energy, and yeah, it was just a waste of time, honestly, and it was disgusting too, also. But I tried it like 2 or 3 different times, and I was like, dude, fuck this. I threw that shit out in the trash. I was like, I don't want this to be an option anymore. And I could feel that my brain was starting to try to like lead me towards it, you know, after taking it 2 days in a row, because I took like, I want to say it was probably like, I don't know, maybe 5-6 grams the first day. And then I took like 8 grams the second day. I was like, maybe I just needed a little bit more. And I was like, okay, this is fucking stupid. What are you doing, man? Get rid of this shit. And went and threw it out in the garbage can. And thank God I got rid of it. So I don't think about it anymore. But dude, yeah, like if you guys are wondering what it feels like to take Kratom while you're on Suboxone, it feels like nothing. So don't even bother with it. It's a worthless pursuit. I didn't have any issues with precipitated withdrawal or anything like that because the bupe was already on my receptors, right? If it would have been backwards and like I would have taken an actual opiate, if you're on opiates and then you introduce Suboxone or Sublocade, that's when you can run into problems. Is that right, Anthony?
Yeah, like you know, subs, they have such a high affinity on those receptors that, I mean, that Kratom's just so weak. It's not like I tried when I cold turkey off 16 milligrams, I tried Kratom then. That's when I first found out about Kratom. And I couldn't even get it to work for me while I was, and I mean, I didn't try later on when, you know, as the days passed, but initially the first couple of days, that bupe was still on my receptors and the Kratom couldn't even get through. But Kratom's a touchy thing, man. Like, cause Kratom is the reason that I got put into drug court here in Georgia. You know, Kratom can be a tool and it can be beneficial, but Kratom can be destructive too. You know, like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I was buying bags of Kratom direct from, you know, Indonesia or wherever, and different strains and all this, and, you know, taking 2 or 3, 4 grams a day, and then before I know it, I'm up to 50 grams of Kratom, dumping a spoonful of Kratom in my mouth every hour. You know, I mean, it became a bad thing for me. And then for me personally, kratom withdrawal was similar to like methadone withdrawal. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was intense. So people need to be careful with kratom too. I always like I saw the guy you had on your channel. I don't remember. He's got the like history or something. He's got the history channel or whatever, or truth, something about truth or
Oh,
something.
Kingdom Within.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yep.
he's a cool dude, and he seems pretty disciplined with it.
Yeah.
And I saw you asking him about how, you know, has his dose increased and stuff, and I'm surprised it hasn't yet. You know,
He said
um,
it did a little bit over
yeah,
the few months, but not like most people go crazy with it, right?
yeah. So like kratom here in Georgia, I went to the Capitol and tried to get it banned because um, it screwed my life up so bad, and I see so many people. They're like, you know, kratom saved my life, kratom this, kratom that. But then I see people like, I can't get off this crap, you know.
Yeah.
So kratom's just it's something to watch out for.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate you touching on that because I know I heard you say earlier that you were messing around with Kratom, so I was gonna kind of swing back to that. I wanted to get your input on Kratom.
Yeah,
Do you see a lot of people struggling with addiction to Kratom?
yeah. I've got one of my buddies down. He lives close to me. He's kind of been on the same path that I was, like opiates, methadone, and then getting clean. And then once he got clean, those cravings come back in, and we resort to kratom because it's more acceptable. I mean, you can run to the store and get it, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
he's super dependent on that kratom now. You know, like it's his life revolves around kratom, like mine did around Suboxone. You know, I mean, it's
Yep.
and then I'm happy for the people, like, because kratom is great for pain. You know, like I know people that have chronic pain, and they take reds and stuff, like a red strain for pain and for sleep, or a lot of people take it for different reasons. But if I just feel like it doesn't, I mean, with it not being regulated and everything, and I just feel like it shouldn't have a place in trying to work as a treatment tool, you know, like, but I'm all for Sublocade now too. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
but Suboxone, you know, it's the same way. It's got its place. Like
Yeah.
everybody gets to that place to where, you know, you get on it and you're like, okay, this is great. I'm so glad I'm doing this. And you start losing your emotions and you feel trapped, and before you know it, you're 8 years in and you're like, man, I want off this crap, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where Sublocade is the game changer. You know, that's why I've got to spread the word. That's why I'm so passionate about it, man, is because like I've got to share it with these doctors around here. I've got to get more providers to offer it and
Mm-hmm.
educate the doctors that don't know about it. And you know, like my doctor, he's like, does the shot hurt? He prescribes the shot and leaves the room. You know, he doesn't know a lot about it. And I just like, I don't have service in the doctor's office, and I just want to go to your channel and when I'm in the room with him and be like, look, man, watch these videos. You know,
Yeah, you should send him a link to a couple of videos that work that you like on my channel and say just
yeah,
watch this on your time off.
yeah. But I'm gonna
My
hop
doctor,
off, man. I don't want to
yeah.
keep you. I'm gonna let you hang out with everybody, and I appreciate you having me on, though.
Okay, dude. Yeah, I really appreciate you. And also, you sent a really sizable donation to the channel a while back, so I wanted to thank you again for that.
Man, it was a super chat. I didn't know they took that.
Yeah.
Right? They took
Yeah, they did.
what, 45%?
Oh, yeah, they did. But still, you still did a huge contribution to the channel. It was still $50 that came out of your account, man.
Right. All right. Yeah, but now I
So.
know for moving forward.
Yeah, if you guys are watching this and you want to send a donation to the channel or support the channel, you can do so. If you just go in the description box, there's a link to Cash App and Venmo are the best ways to do it. That way, because YouTube does take like 45% of the donations if you guys do a super chat. But either way, guys, whatever's easiest for you. If you even feel like supporting the channel, that's up to you. Definitely don't feel like you need to or have to, obviously. But I really do appreciate when you guys do that.
Yeah, before we know it, you'll be sitting behind all these big screens, and you'll have this microphone in front of you, and you will be like, Kevin will be unreachable. No,
I may be back next year.
yeah,
No, I'll be here, guys. I'll be here for you. Okay,
I know.
Anthony, keep me updated, man. Let me know how it goes from here. I'm excited for you to be off the oral addiction of Suboxone, man.
Yeah, yeah, cruise control, man. All right, have a good one.
Okay, buddy. Thanks again. See you
See
later.
ya.
All right, guys. I'm gonna pull this ear thing off my head real quick. All right, guys. Leave me some
comments, questions. Did you guys enjoy that? I wanted to say what's up to Kelly real quick because I had a really great conversation with Kelly on clarity.fm. Just a quick side note, if any of you guys need to reach me personally and have a personal private conversation with me, you can do so 7 days a week. I'm available 7 days a week to you guys. You have to go to the clarity.fm link that's in my description box, okay, guys? So if you guys have some like deeper conversations you guys need to touch on and go over with me, feel free to do so that way, okay, guys? Kelly, I really enjoyed our conversation on clarity. You have a really deep story that I was really touched by, and I'm really good to see, really happy to see that Kelly says not to have to take a daily med and be even all day is so flippin' amazing. Thanks again for our chat, dude. I'm so happy that you're doing so well. I'm glad that you came back here to let us know. I think I tried reaching out to you on the clarity email, but I don't know if you're set up to receive those or not, but I'm glad you at least came here and let me know you're doing good. I've been wondering about you. I knew you'd be doing good, man. Great to see you on here, buddy. Shout out to Kelly. Eric says, on Sublocade, do you go through easier, smoother withdrawal, or is it the same on Suboxone? Yes, it's a much easier, smoother withdrawal, Eric, for sure, and that's because of that long half-life of Sublocade. Okay, guys, remember that if you look at the half-life of Suboxone versus Sublocade, the half-life of Suboxone is like 34 hours. The average half-life of Sublocade is 45 to 60 days, guys. That's where the medications differ so much, because they are the same medications, but they have a much different half-life, guys. So that's why you'll hear so many people say that there is no withdrawal from Sublocade, or if there is one, it is like a 2 out of 10 compared to Suboxone, guys. It's all about the half-life. Sublocade tapers itself automatically over many, many months. Suboxone is up to you by the day, right? With Sublocade, you don't have to have that mind control for every day that you're tapering, right? You're on autopilot once you're on Sublocade. The medication does it for you. It tapers for you. When you're on Suboxone tapering, you have to control yourself. You have to control the little devil on your shoulder every day trying to tell you to take more. And some people can do that and some people can't, guys. It's a very hard thing to do. So props to any of you guys that are kicking ass on your Suboxone taper, because I know that stuff is not easy. Nate S says, now at 35 days, are all the subs out of my system? Yeah. Yes, Nate, you are correct. You are fully moved on, my friend. The worst has definitely come and gone for you, Nate. So props to you for making it 35 days. Not a lot of people can make it 35 days. So shout out to you, Nate. Mary says, I know several people that got clean in Georgia drug court. Sounds like a good program. Keep the comments rolling, guys. Looks like we have 16 people in here. I'm making my way towards the end of the comments. Just a quick side note, too. Oh, good to see you, Robin. If you guys see, if for some reason this kicks me off for a minute, I'll be right back on in like 60 seconds or less. I know sometimes StreamYard will kick me off somewhere around the hour-and-a-half mark. So just a heads up to you guys, if that happens, I'll be right back on. Just stay put, and I'll hop right back on. Eric says, that's where I was at on painkillers. I got tired of being sick and tired. Yeah, that's an exhausting lifestyle right there, my friend. Trust me, I've been there. Let's see here. Kelly says, thanks, bro. Gonna keep working on trusting and taking care of me first. I have 12 more days of treatment, one at a time. That is so awesome. Yeah, let me know when you get out of there. For some reason, I thought you might have been out there already. It seems like it's been a while since I've talked to you on Clarity. So you've got 12 more days. I bet you're probably feeling like I say, right? Smooth, smooth. Kelly, did you stop taking oral Suboxone on the day one from your injection? I always try to push you guys, if you can, to try to stop taking the oral doses from day one. If your doctor got the dose anywhere close to where it should have been, you will hopefully be okay. If you leave yourself a back door and have a stockpile of Suboxone, as you've seen, as Anthony just said, is what happened with me, you'll likely slip up and you will take I would say like 90% plus are going to end up letting the little devil on their shoulder talk them into taking their Suboxone sometime throughout the first month. By the time you get your second shot, you're really going to be smooth sailing, guys. So if some of you guys are needing oral Suboxone, or if you kept it around for the first month on your first month of Sublocade, by the time you get your second shot, you really need to get rid of any type of oral Suboxone that you have laying around. Tell your doctor you don't want any more, because if it's an option to your brain's going to it's going to trick you into thinking that you need to take it. Anthony says, congratulations, Kelly. Happy to hear it's working great for you. Heck yes. You guys, there are so many of you that since I've been doing Sublocade videos, I'm seeing so many of you switching over to Sublocade and really enjoying it. I don't think I've seen one person that's been like, this freaking sucks, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to curse myself, knocking on wood, but I'm seeing so many of you make the transition, and so many of you are doing really good on this new medication. Shout out to you guys. Kelly says, thanks. I will set it up so I am reachable on Clarity. Got a group meeting, gotta run. Peace to everyone. All right, sounds good, Kelly. I'll watch for you. You can reply to me on there if you want. You probably have a couple emails from me on there. Just checking with you, making sure you're doing okay. Good to see you in here on, I think you were on last week too. So it's good to see some normals here on the Sunday night live stream, guys. Robin says, great show. I'm still doing well on Sublocade. Awesome. I'll be getting my third injection in 2 days. I'll be getting 100 milligrams after getting 2 300 milligrams. That is awesome. You're going to do great on that shot. Don't let your mind trick you into thinking that it's not going to be enough, because right now, after getting 2 300 milligram shots, that stuff has built up in your system. So trust me, I can guarantee you that you still feel those 300 milligram shots in you, right? There's still a lot of those medications will still be in you for a while. I was talking earlier with Anthony, saying that his 300 milligram shot, he's going to physically feel that in him for probably 5 or 6 months, guys. If you get the 300 milligram shot, it will last a long time. Trust me, it doesn't just run out in 1 month just because the doctor prescribes it that way. It starts to build up in your system, and that's exactly why the drug manufacturer goes from 300 to 100, because I think a lot of people have the misunderstanding that one shot is only going to last 1 month and then it's just gone. And trust me, guys, it builds up in your system. You can still feel your old shot when you go in for your next shot. Okay, so that's why they're lowering you down to 100 milligrams. You're not even going to feel that drop off, I promise you. Good to see you in here, though. And thanks for keeping us updated on your third injection. Let us know how that all goes going forward. I know you've been really consistent in here, Roberta, so I appreciate you. I think this might be the first time I've seen you on a Sunday night live stream. Usually Roberta is here for the Wednesday shows, not Wednesday night. Damn, we got 17 people in here on a Sunday night. Woo! Freaking late, getting late too. All right. Don't Tread on Me says, we need more videos for after you get off subs or Sublocade. Nobody makes videos for that, which is not easy. I've been making videos for 4 years, so I'm not going anywhere. Trust me, the videos will be there, at least on my channel. Brian says, what's up, Kevin? Does the Sublocade have the same side effects as Suboxone? For example, suppression of appetite. I've lost a lot of weight on subs. Ooh, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. Roberta says, you read my mind. Good to see you. Nate says, see you next Wednesday. All right, buddy, we'll see you. Gosh, let me think about that for a minute. As far as the same side effects overall, I don't ever feel like I'm numbed out. Like, you don't get like the emotional feeling that you get from Suboxone when it kicks in. Like, some people get the energy, some people get euphoria, whatever it is that you don't get that anymore. As far as, no, I would say suppression of appetite. No, my appetite is just fine now. I haven't really, my body always kind of stays the same weight though. So I don't know if I'm the best example for that. Trying to think what else. Anthony C says, I have no issues with appetite suppression on Sublocade. What about you, Roberta? Do you have any, maybe she could give her opinion on that as well. Roberta, have you had any difference as far as like appetite goes since you've switched to Sublocade? Anthony C says, I love food and probably eat more than I did on subs. Yeah, I would actually say, yeah, I think I eat more because I always wanted to take my Suboxone on an empty stomach because my addict brain thinks that it's going to work better if I take it on an empty stomach. So I always tried to take Suboxone on an empty stomach, even though that doesn't make a whole lot of sense since it goes sublingually. But for whatever reason, I always tried to be on an empty stomach when I took my Suboxone. So that being said, I would say my appetite has increased because I'm not trying to maximize the way my Sublocade feels because I don't ever feel it. So I would say that there are definitely some differences in how I feel. Also, I don't have the highs and lows every day like I had on Suboxone. I just feel normal all day long, 24/7. I feel like it's a cleaner, healthier version of the medicine. And that's probably a lot of that, Anthony, is because of the 100% bioavailability of Sublocade versus 25% of the oral Suboxone. So you guys are only getting 25% of what you take orally simply due to the bioavailability of oral buprenorphine. Versus when you're getting the injection, you're getting 100% of the dose. I know. I look forward to seeing it, just saying. Yeah, I got you, brother. I ain't going nowhere. I honestly don't think it's going to be much different than I am now, but we'll see what happens. As I've said before, guys, if there's some horrific, magical withdrawal which happens from Sublocade, which honestly I've never seen anybody say that. You guys seen when I had Dr. Ken Starr on here, he even said he hasn't even heard of withdrawal from Sublocade. If for some reason that I get some kind of withdrawal, you guys know I'm going to be on here telling you every little bit about it, okay? So I'm definitely not expecting that to happen. So, yeah, I'll just say that. And I'm definitely not worried about that happening too. I'll just say that. Looks like the chat's starting to slow down, guys. We're coming up on 2 hours. Do you guys have any more comments or questions for me? Please put them in the comments now. We might try to wrap up here in the next little bit, unless you guys keep the conversation going with me. My voice is starting to get a little froggy. No other questions, guys? No comments? Nothing? Talk to your boy here. I'm still here. Since we're getting kind of close to wrapping up, I want to send a shout out to the sponsors of today's show. We had Nate S. with a $10 super sticker on today's show. So shout out to Nate S. That's the largest sponsorship that the Sunday night live stream has seen. So super shout out to Nate S. He's been really consistent in the live streams lately, and I really appreciate that. Also for Robert Wharton for sending a $5 Cash App last Sunday. That was the very first sponsorship of the Sunday night live stream. So shout out to you, Robert, if you're watching this on the replay. I really appreciate that, my friend. You guys are awesome. Thank you for anybody that supports this show. I really appreciate it, guys. All right, Jordan says on 0.5 milligrams of sub and just tooth decay, obsessed. That is another thing that I didn't touch on just a minute ago when Brian was asking about the differences. It is my personal belief, after doing obviously thousands of hours of research on this topic, guys, that if you're struggling from tooth decay on Suboxone, if you switch to Sublocade, that should definitely help your situation. Obviously, Sublocade is not going to reverse teeth damage, but if you guys are on Suboxone and you're worried about your teeth falling out of your head prematurely, then you might opt for the Sublocade shot sooner, okay? I did a poll on my channel. More than 50% of you have noticed a much higher increase in teeth issues since being on Suboxone, okay? So it is a known issue. There is a lawsuit right now with Suboxone and tooth decay, okay, guys? It's a known issue. Jimmy says, have a good night, Kevin. Thank you, Jimmy. You too, buddy. Good to see you in here. All right, we got some comments rolling in. Maybe we're not wrapping up, baby. Jordan says, so close, 10 years on subs, and I'm done soon. That's awesome. Yeah, you're getting down there to a really low dose. So, I mean, half of a milligram of Suboxone, that's getting really low. So just keep going. I know a lot of people like to taper down to 1/4 of a milligram, maybe even a little bit less. So just really slow it down from here, Jordan, all right? You're getting close, though. Just don't rush up. Just don't rush this final part. That's where a lot of people make the mistake. They get close to the finish line and they want to kind of rush the last part up. And it's probably the most crucial part, is like finishing up your taper and going down to such a low dose, right? Just know that you're almost there, my friend. Anthony C says, I'm going to get with you on Clarity 1 week for some help with nutrition. Awesome. I need some tips on your egg white and protein protocol. Sounds good, Anthony. Whenever you need me, man. Let's see here. Don't Tread on Me says, you're right. I've heard it's much better. I wish I heard it a long time ago. Yes. So are you on Sublocade right now then? Don't Tread on Me, or are you on Suboxone? I can't remember if you shared earlier what you were on. Sorry, guys. It's really hard for me to keep everybody's situation and dose and everything in my head. My brain is very limited on memory. I'm old as hell up in here. You're both getting old. Anthony says, yeah, I'm actually in a lawsuit that is going against them for tooth damage. They are ramping it up as we speak. Yeah, I've heard that, Anthony. Roberta says, I agree. It's pure and clean. Generic Suboxone caused so many side effects I don't have now. Oh, that is awesome to hear. See, you guys? So you guys are hearing the differences from people that it's not just me saying these things. There are other people in the chat that are noticing upgrades, essentially, when going from Suboxone to Sublocade. Mary says, thank you. Thank you. Jordan says. Brian says, I've also felt being on subs has made me not be very social. I can relate to that. I remember you talked about that in the past. Does Sublocade make you feel more sociable or normal, for lack of better description? Thanks again. So I was to the point, Brian, where I could not even go to a family event. I couldn't even go to the gym without taking my Suboxone before going into the gym. That's how bad it was, guys. My back is killing me, guys. I need to lay down. Sorry. Oh, my God. I've been laying like that for 2 hours. All right, guys. I'm chilling now. So, yeah. So I no longer have to plan my family gatherings around taking my Suboxone. So yes, it's a huge upgrade. I don't have to think, how am I feeling? Can I go to this place? Can I go to that place? Like, it's not even on your mind anymore, right? So once you get on the Sublocade shot, like, there's all these things that we're talking about, they do improve. Like, I'm just kind of now realizing all these other things that we're talking about. So, oh shit, hold on, guys. Oh shit! Shout out to Brian. He just sent a $5 super chat, baby. He says thanks again. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Yeah. Any other questions you have? If you have any other questions, buddy, throw them in here, and we'll be sure and get your questions replied to. Yeah, it's so nice to not have to think about that shit anymore, you guys. Like, I'm just now, like, as you guys are asking these questions, there are a lot of differences between Suboxone and Sublocade, and damn, man, you guys are helping me realize even more as we're going through this conversation. Shout out to you again, Brian, for the $5 super chat, baby. Really appreciate that. No, don't tread on me. You scare me. That's actually what my grandpa died from, Alzheimer's. So yeah, I've been paranoid that I don't want to curse myself here. Knock on wood. What the hell was that? Oh my God, Roberta just sent a $10 Venmo. That was loud. Okay, thank you, Roberta. You're still in here chatting. She says, I appreciate you. Thank you, Roberta. You're always sending some Venmo love, so I really appreciate you. Gosh, you guys are being so sweet to me tonight. To go from not getting any support that way to you guys spoiling me tonight, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you, Roberta. You've been very your name's like all over the screen here. You've been very consistent with the sponsors. So everyone, shout out to Roberta H for her sponsor donation to the show, guys. Sorry, I can't lay down and hold that phone at the same time. Gotta flex my back. Dang, you guys are spoiling me in here tonight. Thank you. I love y'all, man. You guys are great. You guys are in the holiday spirit up in here tonight. Speaking of holiday spirit, check this out, guys. Got my tree finally set up. Oh, there's the game too. So we've got Chargers are 20 and the Dolphins are 14. You guys, this is the first year I've set up my Christmas tree in like 4 years. I've been a freaking Grinch. Shout out to you, Roberta. I really appreciate that. It looks like you guys are still commenting, so I'm willing to keep going if you guys want to. Oh, we got a low battery sign here, 20%. All right, I got to lay back though. Sorry, guys. My back is killing me. All right. Anthony C says, what time is it? It is 9:04. 9:04, buddy. I feel like you guys are so far away from me. Let me get this set up. Ugh. All right, boys getting old. All right. Jerry says, I really appreciate all the information. Thank you, guys. Good to see you, Jerry. You are welcome, my friend. Jenny says, I hate that feeling. What, the feeling of where you have to take your Suboxone before family, or what feeling do you hate? I take a little tiny piece of sub in the morning and a little tiny piece of sub at night, and I just can't seem to get past that. It irks me. So what dose are you on then, Jenny? Like, how much total per day? Like 0.5 milligram or 1 milligram, or how much are you on? Yeah, the last part of the taper is the hardest, guys. As you guys know, if you just think about it, you're just that much closer to zero the lower you get, right? If you're on 24 milligrams a day Suboxone, you've got a lot of room to work with before your receptors are not covered at all, right? The closer you get to zero, down here at like 2 milligrams will be like right here. You know, only a certain amount of your receptors are covered, your opiate receptors in your brain. And then the lower you get, down to 0.5 milligram, like only some of your opiate receptors are even being touched when you take those little tiny doses. Just enough to keep you out of withdrawal, right? Jordan says, Jenny, make sure you can get some 2 milligram ones. Yeah, that definitely helps when you guys are tapering to the lower doses. If you can get your doctor to prescribe you the 2 milligram films, that's the best way to go most of the time. The 2 milligram films will help you really be able to cut the doses up into really small pieces. What time is it where you're at, Anthony? Jenny, yeah, get the 2 milligrams and force yourself to start dosing once a day. It's not fun, but we'll start the process of getting to smaller doses. See, I could never do that, don't tread on me. I always had to take 2 doses no matter what. For all the years I tried Suboxone tapering, I could never get down to 1 dose a day. And I know that a lot of the doctors and psychologists will try to tell you to get to just 1 dose a day too, but I didn't like the way that made me feel. It always hit too hard, and then I always felt like I didn't have enough at the end of the day. And I know that my metabolism is faster than most people's, so maybe that doesn't happen to you guys. But yeah, he's right. If you can get on 1 dose a day, that's the best as far as like beating your addiction goes. It all comes back to how much time you're having to give your addiction every day, right? And if you're taking 2 or 3 doses of Suboxone, you're having to give your addiction that much more time out of your day. But you can only do what you can only do, right, guys? If you have to dose twice a day, then you have to dose twice a day. Are you on the West Coast? Yeah, I'm in Utah, so I guess you could close. It runs in your family too, yeah. Dude, that was hard to see my grandpa go through Alzheimer's, guys. Holy moly. Holy freaking moly. The gang is showing out on a Sunday night. Yeah, they are. Man, we had like 21 people in here at one point. So, yeah, we need to keep this thing going, guys. Like the first couple weeks, there was only like 5, 6, 7 people at a time. I was like, dang, this sucks. Not many people coming in here like I thought they would. Oh, Dan Marino's on TV, guys. I haven't seen him for a while. Making sure I didn't miss anybody's comments. I'm going back to check. Okay, so Brian says, what about sex drive? Does that get better? So that's a huge thing as well, guys. When I was on Suboxone, I had to really be careful with my dosing. It was like I had to pre-plan my sexual nights, right, guys? Because hopefully, if you guys don't know, if you don't know, then you'll know now. But like Suboxone numbs your junk, right? I had to really be careful not to take any Suboxone like within, I don't know, like 6, 7 hours. Like if I was gonna hang out with my girlfriend that night and like I knew we were gonna be sexually active, right? Then I would make sure that I took my second dose by like noon or 1 p.m. Because if you take your Suboxone dose close to the time when you're gonna have sex, you might have some issues, guys. You might have some issues if you're anything like me, right? Now, I want to stress if you're having sexual side effects and you're a man, I always tell anybody, if you're on Suboxone or opiates, you need to have your testosterone levels checked, guys. This stuff kills your testosterone levels, especially if you're getting up there in age. And what I mean by that is probably anywhere over 30. If you're anybody over 30, or even some people could be in their 20s having low testosterone issues from Suboxone. Okay, guys. So if you're having low sex drive or you're having difficulties maintaining stuff, you know what I'm trying to say here. If you have any weird sexual side effects, first things first, get your testosterone levels checked by your doctor. It's a very easy test to do. It's very cheap, even if you don't have health insurance. You can get on supplemental testosterone, TRT, if you need to. Trust me, guys, it makes a big difference. But what makes an even bigger difference is like lowering or tapering your dose if you're at that point in your recovery to do so with the help of your doctor, hopefully. And also trying to keep your Suboxone dose as far away from your sexy time as you can, right, guys? If you know you want to be intimate with your wife tonight at 10 o'clock, maybe try to take your last dose by like noon or something like that, right? So these are all just little tips and tricks to kind of help you guys navigate your Suboxone lifestyle, right? It's going to be different for everybody. Maybe you don't have issues sexually. A lot of people struggle with delayed ejaculation when they're on Suboxone. I know that for me, that could be an issue. Sometimes I wasn't even able to finish because the Suboxone dose was too high. These things all get better as you guys taper down, okay? So I just want you, something to look forward to for you guys that are tapering. If you're struggling with any of these things, the stuff does get better as you taper, okay? I should be clear, sex drive. So, okay, so from subs to Sublocade. I would say yes, maybe a little bit, as far as like my sex drive getting better. I think it mostly comes down to having a lower dose around the clock, right? Versus having the highs and the lows, because if you have the high, if you take your dose of Suboxone and then you're going to have relations in a couple hours, your blood levels are way up here, right? And then hopefully I'm not confusing you guys. Hopefully I'm not getting too OCD with this stuff. I am pretty OCD with this stuff, but I would say yes, I've noticed a little bit of an improvement as far as sexually goes. And a lot more normalcy, I would say. Roberta says, we have control of our life now. I'm doing a tree also for the first time in several years. That's awesome. See, we're all trying to get that spirit going this year. Don't worry, your memory will come back. I think it's a side effect of generic Suboxone. That's interesting. I've heard some people say that. Oh my gosh, 1108 in Georgia. Woo! 2 seconds, guys. Oh boy. All right. 13 people still in here. Damn, 2 hours and 11 minutes we've gone. We still rolling. Okay. No, you're right. I had to do 2 doses for a long time. It was so hard to make myself go to once a day. You really have to be determined. Yes. Yeah. You know, some people can just take it once a day and move on with their day, guys. Like there are some people that don't obsess about all these little details like I do. Like as you guys seen, I was on Nicole's channel last Wednesday, and she's like, she felt bad. She felt bad because she kind of like judged me before she got to know me. And she didn't know that I was like juggling all these things all day long. Like she just takes her dose and goes on with her day and doesn't think about it anymore. But for me, I was like, every little step of my day was calculated around my Suboxone dose. So not everybody's so OCD like I am. So if you're not that way, then maybe these things aren't as big of a deal to you. But I know a lot of people do struggle with like juggling all of the different things that come into play with the dosing. I guess you could slowly spread it out over time. Are you talking about your Suboxone doses? That's kind of how I transitioned onto Sublocade. I was so OCD about it that I just took like 1 milligram, then 1 milligram, then 1 milligram, like spread it out throughout the day to try to mimic the shot a little more versus just having one dose and having it kick in and having me feel that dose kick in. When you guys are transitioning from Suboxone to Sublocade, you have to be ready to not feel that. You won't feel it kick in anymore, guys. That's a serious thing that you have to be ready to let go of. And if you're not at that point in your recovery to where you're not ready to let go of the feeling that you get when your Suboxone kicks in, you might not be ready for Sublocade. But trust me, guys, it's a good thing. I don't want you guys to think that think it's a bad thing that you're not feeling your Suboxone kicking in when you go to Sublocade. It's a good thing, trust me. You get so much more of your life back. Like there were so many times, you guys, when I would look forward to taking my dose and then just laying there on the couch for like 4 hours and watching a movie and just, I called it like being in my derp state, right? Like I would watch the lowest vibrational quality videos on YouTube and I wouldn't even care. I would be okay with it. And I'm like, now I would not just sit there and blow 4 hours of my life watching crappy, stupid, negative energy videos on YouTube. I would not do that on Sublocade, guys. But when I was on that dose of Suboxone and kicked in, I was okay with doing whatever. I didn't really care. I didn't care about much. Anthony C says, I have to get my T levels checked. I think that's where any negative feelings I'm having. Dude, if you're low on T, which I would be willing to put money that you probably are, dude, that will be a huge boost in your attitude if you got your testosterone levels where they should be. Please check into that, Anthony. Trust me, guys. Low T is something that is very crappy to deal with. It's up there with like a little bit of a withdrawal type of feeling, guys. Like you feel depressed and no energy and just you can't make any gains in the gym even if you're trying your hardest. Like low T is hard for the men. Mine was I was low in my 20s and now in my 30s and down to low dose of subs. It's back up. Yeah, for you guys that are on low dose of Suboxone, it's probably not killing your testosterone levels. And when you do get off Suboxone, I typically see people's testosterone spike about 4 or 5 weeks after getting off of Suboxone. So that could be something for you guys to look forward to. That would be a boost in energy, sex drive, all that stuff. About 1 milligram at a time, Anthony, to crumbs throughout the day. I'm dosing 0.5 milligrams 4 to 5 times a day, Jerry says. So about 2 to 2.5 milligrams a day then, Jerry? Brian says, can you feel emotion again since being on Sublocade? Yeah, I was talking a little earlier in the stream. I was saying how, especially after like the 4-week mark last time for my last shot, I could definitely, like, there was a week where I cried almost every day, and I could not cry on Suboxone, you guys. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but I mean, I went to my cousin's funeral who ended his own life and not in a good way. And I was even speaking, guys, and I cannot speak like that. I was speaking at his funeral, and my favorite aunt was sitting there bawling her eyes out, and I could not shed a tear. And I was only on, 4 milligrams of Suboxone at the time? Like, Suboxone makes it to where I can't cry. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but of course I took the Suboxone before the funeral so I wouldn't cry. And I kind of feel bad that I didn't cry. The derp state were the funniest times, funnest times. Let the subs go. Sublocade will take care of you. Your mind will tell you lies. You are going to be okay. You will feel so much better and your mind will be free. That is true. Would the gel or an oral supplement be enough? I'm not a fan of giving myself the shot. Could you have your wife do the shot, Anthony? Do you have a wife or a girlfriend? I used to hate to give myself the shot, guys, but it's easy as heck for me to do now. You could go to the doctor's office. They could give you a shot. But yes, they do. I think they actually do have, kind of similar to the Sublocade for testosterone now. I think they can maybe give you like a long-lasting shot. You might want to ask your doctor about that. But otherwise, yes, you can do the gel. A lot of people do the gel and just rub it on. You just have to make sure that it dries all the way before you like go lay down or touch anybody. But some people do like to do the gel. Yep, 2.5 milligrams a day. Okay, that's not a bad dose, man. How do you feel on that? Do you feel good? I can definitely relate. I've been really numb for years. Yeah, dude. Especially like I know a lot of people on the high doses of Suboxone really struggle with like just their soul being kind of numbed out, right? Are you guys that are watching this on the replay, if you're on a higher dose of Suboxone, does your soul feel numb? Does your body feel numb too? Gosh, I had both. I mean, I remember I would just sleep like 12, 14 hours a day when I was on a really high dose of Suboxone, like 16 milligrams. But some of you guys might be kicking ass in life at 16 milligrams, but for me, it was just too much. Two hours and 20 minutes. Woo! Any other questions or comments, guys? I see you guys are kind of slowing down in the comments here. So what's your dose right now? Don't tread on me. I think I asked you earlier, but I don't think I seen your response. Completely numb. I didn't care about anything or feel anything. The longest live ever was 4 hours and 2 minutes. That was like 2 weeks ago on the Wednesday live stream. If you guys are new to this channel, don't forget we do live streams every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. We're on here every week, guys, doing videos similar to this. Omisha? Sorry if I said your name wrong. Says I'm on 8 milligrams 2 times a day, and when I first take it in the morning, I feel good. But later in the day, I start to feel sleepy and low energy until it's time for the second dose. I'm really getting tired of it. I feel good, but later in the day, I start to feel sleepy. That sounds a little confusing to me, because I always got sleepy when the dose kicked in. See, that just goes to show you guys how different we all are. So do you feel like you need more or less, Omisha? Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I feel good first thing in the morning, but later in the day I start to feel sleepy and low energy. Oh, so you're the kind of person that gets energy from Suboxone. I guess most people that's how most of you guys are. I did that poll that asked how you guys are feeling. So yeah, that's a tough spot you're in right there. Oh, 12 days free. Okay, that's awesome. I think you told me that earlier. And my apologies again, guys, for not like remembering everybody's stuff. How are you feeling? Any RLS still going on? Is that your dog in the picture? Don't tread on me. German Shepherd. Sorry, my phone is like tiny that I'm looking at here. You guys know I'm looking at the comments on this phone. If you guys ever see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I'm not ignoring you. Really, that's awesome. Sorry, I seem to miss them, but watch them after. Yeah, I know a lot of people. A lot of people aren't able to make the lives. That's okay, guys. The replay's always there for you. My phone's getting low, 10% battery. We're running out, guys. That probably means we got another, what, 10 minutes or so? .5 milligrams a day is too much for me. I feel good at about 1 milligram per day. I can relate, my friend. Is your dose just starting to creep up then, or what? You getting a little bit of the wintertime blues? I know some people fluctuate their dose a lot, and I can relate. I did that a lot, you guys. Like, I would taper down to like 0.5 milligram or 1 milligram, and then for whatever reason, my dose would start to creep back up, and then before you knew it, I was back up to like 2, 3, 4 milligrams. It's like, what am I just got sick of doing this shit for so many years, you guys. Maybe you guys aren't like me, but I know a lot of you guys do that stuff. Up and down with the dose, up and down with the dose. And that shit gets tiring, man. After doing that for 4 or 5 years, I just got sick and tired of that crap. Thinking about it all day long, self-guilting myself. Anthony says, I'm out of here, brother, catching the Yellowstone replay. Can't believe I got sucked into this show. Hey, man, thanks for hanging out tonight, and thanks for coming on and sharing your story, Anthony. I really appreciate that, and I'm really glad to hear that you're doing better now that you got your second shot, my friend. Check back in with us. Let us know how you're going from going forward, my friend. Shout out to Anthony for coming on the show today. Yes, I get energy from after taking my first morning dose, but later I start to get real sleepy and less energy until I take my second dose. It's like an up and down spiral, and I'm tired of it. Yeah, you might be good for, you might want to talk to your doctor about the Sublocade shot then. That's what a lot of us in the chat have switched to, is the Sublocade shot. Have you tried tapering down at all and seeing how you feel on lower doses? That goes exactly like what Omisha just shared. This is exactly what I always talk about, guys. When you're on the oral dose of Suboxone, but it's the short half-life. You're having highs and lows all day long. Highs and lows. It's like a fucking roller coaster ride, guys. When you get on Sublocade, you feel like a normal person all day, all night. This is exactly how I feel every day for months, guys. You just feel normal, right? You don't have the big rush of energy, but then you don't have the big crash. You don't have the big highs and lows. And that stuff can get tiring, as Omisha just shared. Sick of the ups and downs. She wants to, I believe it's a she. Are you she? Sorry, I can't tell. Omisha wants to feel normal, right? As we all should want to feel normal. We shouldn't want to feel these huge spikes and drop-offs all day. That's not normal. That's not a normal way to live. Thanks for having me on and letting me share my experience. Yeah, thank you for doing that. I know it can be kind of nerve-wracking to get on the World Wide Web and share your greatest flaws, right? But Anthony did it with, I could tell he wasn't even nervous. So shout out to you, Anthony. Some people need to be coaxed on here, but Anthony was all about it. I'm like, come on, you can do it. I could tell Anthony wasn't even hesitating. Sublocade train, baby. I plan to go on Sublocade 100 milligrams soon, so I increased my dose a little. Yeah, if your doctor's going to let you, if I recall, Jerry, were you the one that was going to see Dr. Ken Starr? I don't know why, but that seems like what my memory is telling me. I would say if you're going to go to the 100 milligram shot, then yeah, I would say somewhere around 2.5 milligrams would be a pretty good spot to transfer to the 100 milligram shot. Just don't start going up above like 4 milligrams, because you want the shot to feel a little heavy for you, right, for the first few days. That way you can stop taking your oral dose right from day one. I would definitely do it if I wasn't already off. It's still not fun after 12 days. Yeah, you probably got another week or so of not so fun times, I would say. A week or two, maybe. You'll have to let us know how it goes, buddy. Ooh. Oh. Got the close up here. Oh, yeah, baby. Ooh. Now my arm's dead. Oh. Can't feel my arm. Do you guys, any of you guys have crappy blood flow? Like, are your hands and feet really cold in the winter, especially the winter months? But mine are cold like year round. But dude, some of these winter days, like my hands are icy. You guys know anything about that? My doctors always seem to play it off like it's nothing, but I'm freaking kind of worried about that crap. My doctors say that it's something called Raynaud's disorder or something like that. I guess it's supposed to be like pretty common, but dude, my hands get so cold, you guys, like to where I'm embarrassed to shake somebody's hand. They're that cold. Hi, little kiddo. Look, Isabel's here. Say hello. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Hi, cute girl. Cookies. Cookies. No kiss. Izzy wants to say hi. Look, it's the computer. It's the computer. Who is it? Hello, everybody. My name's Isabel and... All right, cutie. I love that little chick. Yes, sorry, I'm a female. Laugh out loud. But yes, thanks for sharing about the shot. I will definitely inform my doctor about starting the shot. Yeah, if you're tired of the ups and downs and you can't, I mean, unless you can taper yourself off, if you have the mind control to do that, then you could probably just do that. But a lot of people don't want to mess with tapering, and if you don't want to mess with tapering, then just ask your doctor about Sublocade, guys. Let the shot do the work for you. Sublocade will taper you automatically without you doing all the work. Jerry, I think you're going to be feeling real good once you get on the Sublocade shot, my friend. Yep. See, I don't know. See, I can remember stuff like that. Like, I remember that Anthony C's second Sublocade shot was on the 28th, but then, like, I'll forget other things, and I'll forget, like, I forgot that Deb lived in Maine. I don't know why, but I feel like I think everybody lives in California for some weird reason. I don't know why I think that. So if you guys ever hear me thinking that you're in California, it's because I feel like so many of the people on my channel are from California. But then I remember stuff like Jerry is going to go see Dr. Ken Starr for the shot. And I think he told me that like months ago. And some reason I remember that. I don't know why. I think because your picture, Jerry, I always remember your picture. I see whenever you comment, I remember you because of your picture. So a lot of you guys, if you have avatar pictures, I can remember you a lot, like a lot of our conversation by the picture that you have. I don't know why, for some reason, like that image stamps in my brain. When are you going to do that, Jerry? How much of the shot would you suggest as a first timer starting out? So if you're on 16 milligrams a day, you're going to want to start at the normal dose of Sublocade, which is the 300 milligram shot. And that shot will last you quite a while. So ask your doctor, and that's the normal starting dose for most people. That's what the drug manufacturer recommends people start out, as the 16 milligram, or is going from 16 milligrams of Suboxone to the 300 milligram shot. And that shot will last you a long time. Jerry says, I live in California. I think it's because it lowers your blood pressure. I've heard that too. My blood pressure always seems like it's like in the right range though whenever I've checked it. Maybe I'll need to check that again. That's definitely something to consider though. I appreciate that comment. Now I'm going to go check my blood pressure as soon as we get off here. Oh, damn. You're going in this Wednesday. Shit. See, look how many of you guys are making a transfer, dude. That's so awesome. So many of you guys are switching from Suboxone to Sublocade. I love this. I love this. I love this. You guys are awesome. And then so many of you are also tapering too. So that's awesome too. Like a lot of people are making moves, right? You guys that are tapering, I'm proud of you guys that are tapering. We've got Deb down to like 0.125 milligrams. Like she's on a little speckle. I believe Zach is at the same dose. Those two have kind of been following each other down. I can't wait to get the shot. Yeah, you're gonna be doing great, man. Just get ready for it. Just get ready for the transition. Oh, I still have a message pinned from Kelly. Let me take that off there. Yeah, let me know how that goes, my friend. Just get ready to get rid of your Suboxone, all right? Or else you'll keep slipping up if you keep your Suboxone around once you switch over. Go have yourself a bonfire like I did. Burn that shit. Burn it, baby. Burn it. All right, guys, just taking some notes here. Looks like we still have 10 people in here. Holy moly. 2 hours and 35 minutes here. Does anybody have any final questions? I'm going to wrap this up here in just a minute, guys. In closing, I want to send a shout out to the people who contributed and sponsored today's show. So today's contributors are Nate S., Brian, and Roberta. Thank you to all three of you who donated. I really appreciate you guys for the support and love, and also the comments here on the channel. I really appreciate that as well. You guys are awesome for supporting me, okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope to see everybody on the Wednesday live show. Remember, guys, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern. That's when we have like the bigger crowd. It's usually on the Wednesday shows. We're there every Wednesday, though, guys. Omisha says, how often do you go in for your shot? So the basic thing is to go in every 30 days for your shot. And then you don't take any more oral doses. So you're not going to have the highs and lows like you do now. But you can space the shots out further than 30 days. If you're feeling good, just ask your doctor if you can come in whenever you're ready for it. The shots last longer, much longer than 30 days. But most of the time they'll want you to come in every 30 days for like your booster shot. You could call it a booster shot. But the shot will last longer than 30 days for sure. Much longer than 30 days. I would say probably for the first, if you're going to go in for like more shots, if you want to keep going on Sublocade, then you want to at least get your first 2 shots on time. Like you'll get your first shot and get your second shot a month later, and then you can just start spacing them out from there probably. Or whatever your doctor decides to do with you, or lets you. Sometimes your doctor will be like mine. My doctor kind of lets me control the whole thing. He lets me go off of how I'm feeling, which I love that. He doesn't like hold me to a strict regimen. He just kind of lets me lead the show, which I really appreciate, because if I was feeling like I don't need any more shots, then I don't want to be forced to come in for a shot. So hopefully you guys have a doctor like mine who kind of lets me run the show and lets me to call it shots. Literally shots. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Sorry if you're just barely coming to the show. We've been on for 2 hours and 38 freaking minutes. Long time. This is definitely the longest Sunday night live stream we've done so far. So shout out to you guys who stayed for the whole thing. If you're watching this on the replay, leave me a comment that says 2:38, so I know that you guys watched the whole thing on the replay. Don't cheat either, guys. Thanks. I'm going to definitely tell my doctor about it. Yeah, let me know if you decide to go down that path. A lot of people on the channel are switching to Sublocade. Much love. Thank you. Same back to you. I appreciate that. Yeah, feel free to show up on Wednesday if you have any more questions for me, or feel free to leave a comment on the video replay, and I'll do my best to respond to you guys, okay? All right, guys, we're going to wrap it down here. My Seahawks lost this week, so I'm kind of heartbroken about that. But yeah, thank you for all the contributors to today's show, and we'll see you guys Wednesday, all right? Have a great week, guys. See you soon. Oh, yeah, baby. Bye, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button for your boy.